But my life's good. Really good. I get to wake up every morning at 5 a.m. and make some soup. It's the best. I love it. I get to lay in a bed by myself all of my life. It's fantastic. You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail. You're charging too high prices for sweaters, glasses. You right to jail.
Where's my burrito? Where's my burrito? Where's my burrito?
Oh!
Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
No, there is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
Okay, but now I can't read it. There's no words on it.
Okay. Ready? Sure.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out.
Sting is going to do. It's a video. Sting video.
What is
for credits?
I don't know what that means. To play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
Okay. In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a. I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!
We obviously didn't communicate clearly. We're here to discuss your surrender, not mine.
Tú eres tan romántico molestando con una vipa. Me preguntas si te quiero. Yo te digo que no estoy lista y no quiero comenzar. No hay nada que pensar. Yo te dejaré atrás. Mientras gano más y más. No estás en mi nivel y tú no eres obligación. No estás motivada y tú aburres mi corazón. Eres un idiota sin inteligencia y razón. Entonces déjame tranquila y te escriba tu canción. Tú eres tan romántico molestando con una vipa. Me preguntas si te quiero. Yo te digo que no estoy lista y no quiero comenzar. No hay nada que pensar. Yo te dejaré atrás. Mientras gano más y más. No estás en mi nivel y tú no eres obligación. No estás motivado corazón. Eres un idiota sin inteligencia y razón. Entonces déjame tranquila mientras escriba tu canción. Estoy aquí a disfrutar. Estoy aquí pero quiero gozar. Si quieres a mí pero vamos a bailar. Cintura a cintura papi tra tra tra. Bailando, gozando y me gusta tomar. Pero no quiero pendejos que no quieren respetar. Déjame pendejo papi ya no más. Déjame pendejo papi ya no más. Estoy aquí a disfrutar. Estoy aquí pero quiero gozar. Si quieres a mí pero vamos a bailar. Cintura a cintura papi tra tra tra. Bailando, gozando y me gusta tomar. Pero no quiero pendejos que no quieren respetar. Déjame pendejo papi ya no más. Déjame pendejo papi ya no más.
What is up, everybody? It is your boy Luis Martinez, aka Big Chief Burrito, live with you on a Tuesday. Mi Gente Show, live and direct from Southern California, San Diego, Chula Vista, South San Diego, the whole South Bay area. Comic-Con preview.
Yes.
The whole world is burning up, Sophia. We've had
It is.
5 of the hottest days recorded in the history of time over the last couple of weeks.
Whew, heat wave. All right. But that won't stop Comic-Con. Nothing will.
Except maybe the
will it?
WGA and writer strike and actor strike.
Right,
we're gonna get into a Comic-Con preview in a little bit. We're going to be talking about what's happening, what's not happening at Comic-Con this year, whether it's going to have an old school feel with no actors, no huge Hall H panels and stuff like that. I'm excited about it, and we have an interview with a couple of people that are part of the Comic-Con experience this year, and we'll be promoting our friends panels and answering any questions you might have about what is happening. We're also going to be catching up on the WGA and writer strike, the SAG-AFTRA WGA strike, all the newest updates, the cruelty, etc. And we might have some interesting people popping in. But this is part of the show where we talk about personal news just to catch up on everything that's going today. So, Sophia, how was your big gay weekend?
It was a blur. It was a big and gay and lots of rainbows everywhere and all of it. Just so much dancing, twerking, drinking, and debauchery, but also family fun at the parade. So it was a lot of wholesome, a lot of not wholesome. And yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It was my first time doing a pool party and the parade because I usually do the festival, which is a totally different event. And I decided to just skip that and do the parade and a party on Friday and a pool party on Sunday. Huh?
Is that the music festival? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the music festival. So usually the parade is like in the morning and it's like 5 hours or something like that. And then it ends and the music festival begins. And the music festival goes until like 10 p.m., something like that.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you really want to go crazy on Saturday, it tends to be parade, festival, after party somewhere. Yeah, but I am old and tired. And so I decided to just do the parade until I was tired, went to sleep, and then I went to a pool party the next day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You need to plan your drinking and your drugs appropriately for a long day.
I need to, yeah, man, my hangovers are bad. I need to, yeah. Freaking epilepsy, not fun.
No.
Mm-mm. But yeah, that was good.
Nice.
Nothing else I can say on stream. So it was good.
I kissed a girl.
I did not. What was I gonna say? There was a lot of reality show people. Ultimatum Girls.
Okay.
I saw not a lot of my TV show. I did bump into Amber's Closet and Sterling. I believe they were there, but I didn't get to see them. But the host, Jessica Clark, was there. Wish more of my girls would have gone, but hey.
What was the biggest gay celebrity that was around?
Ooh,
was it you?
Definitely not even close. I think right now the Ultimatum Girls from the show, the Queer Ultimatum on Netflix, they're all like super well known, and they were all over every event during Pride. So like my friend group, my kickball team, they went out a lot more than I did, a lot of the girls. So they bumped into like all of them. I just bumped into Tiff, and then I got to see Vanessa for a little bit. But everyone else got to see like the whole cast. They were everywhere. It was crazy. And since they're super relevant right now, since the show just came out, yeah, everyone was like, can I get a picture? All that stuff.
Yeah, as one does.
As one does. Yeah. So
nice.
I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. I mean, the music festival has a ton of, acts, but as far as celebrities just in the wild, that's what it was. And yeah, my niece turns 1 year old. 1 year old
already
this weekend. Yeah. So that's gonna do it for me in personal news. She turns 1 her party's on Saturday. And so her baptism and her party are gonna be in the same day, and we're gonna be in Rosarito celebrating, and I'm excited.
Sounds like a blast.
Yeah, I'm excited. Anyway, what about you? Personal news.
Personal news. I am going to Comic-Con this week. No, everything's pretty much copacetic. I had the 4 dogs here for the last couple of days because I won't be able to pay attention to Milo because I'll be in and out of the house, and I'll be going to back and stuff like that.
Right.
So I had them for the last few days, and now this next couple of days I'm going to be super busy and kind of trying to figure out where I'm at. Hosted karaoke last night. It was a fun time, and basically just living my life, living the dream.
Living my life. Yeah.
Trying to stay cool, trying to stay healthy.
What days are you gonna plan on being on Comic-Con?
I plan on being there every day.
So Wednesday to Sunday?
Yeah, preview night is Wednesday. Preview night is Wednesday. And then after that, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I have panels with friends various times. We'll jump into that in a minute. And then Sunday is the only day that I might not be there, and that's simply because my brother's coming into town, which I'm excited about. So I'll be doing some family stuff that weekend as well, and hopefully getting some tattoos.
Yeah.
My brother's doing a guest spot at a tattoo shop called the Ink Spot in Mission Beach from Sunday the 23rd to the 26th. So if you want to get tattooed by a really badass artist, hit me up or follow him on Instagram. I'll post a link, and then we'll go from there.
Hell yeah. Do you want to meet up on Thursday? I'm gonna be in Comic-Con only on Thursday and Thursday only.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're gonna be Comic-Conning it up.
Cool. We'll say it. We'll stay in touch.
All right, so we got a lot of stuff happening today. We're going to get into some drama. We're going to get into some updates on the strike. We'll do some Hellscape Watch. We'll do some Naname's Ways. We'll get into it. It'll be a nice, long evening stream. Hopefully, it'll start to cool down in a minute. But first, I do want to play. We did have a video. Let me move my shit out of the way here real quick so I can get to it. Sorry. But we do have Jose Iturriaga. He's a musician, artist. He actually did the music for Alien Story, the like 8-bit soundtrack music for the intro. He's also going to be at Comic-Con this week. They have a Aztec open world game that he does concept art for. And he's also going to be doing peer portfolio reviews for artists in the sales pavilion. And he was unable to be here live for the show, but I did get a chance to record an interview with him earlier in the day. So we're going to play that now, and then we're going to take it from there. Sophia, can you check if your other laptop is muted and the sound is all the way down? Because I'm getting a little bit of feedback, so I'm not sure if that's from you or...
Oh, let me see.
It could be that.
It seems to be all the way down.
Okay, just make sure your audio is down.
It could be also my fan. Let me know if that is what it is.
No, I'm getting a very, very small amount of feedback, but I think it's better now.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll just ignore it. Maybe I'll just lower my volume. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's not bad. Okay. All right, so I'm going to play... Oh, my God, it's Double Lou.
What is happening? Sharing screen? What is that?
What is up, everybody? This is Luis Martinez, and we are recording this earlier in the day because our guest is not going to be available for a live show. But Comic-Con is happening this coming week in San Diego. It's going to be an old school Comic-Con. There's not going to be a lot of studios, no actors because of the strike, no writers to promote stuff. So what is that going to bring us? It's going to bring us an old school Comic-Con experience. A lot of indie creatives, comic book artists, indie filmmakers. It's going to be, just like I said, it's going to be old school Comic-Con like 10 years ago before it got super popularized, super commercialized. And one of the creatives that's going to be there, and somebody that I've had the pleasure to work with, he did some cool-ass music for our movie Alien Story. He's an artist that's been growing over the last several years, improving his craft. And I wanted a chance to talk to him and promote some of the stuff he's doing this week. Mr. Jose Iturriaga.
Yay.
Welcome to the show.
I'm here. Yeah. Hi. Thanks for having me.
Concept artist and set designer. Why do you choose those titles? How is it different from just graphic artist? Is that like a specialized part of the field that you wanted to focus on, where you think your skills fit the best, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I mean, I always liked art since I was a kid, and after college, I was trying to get into the entertainment industry, and I loved it. I had a course with a set designer, Mexican set designer, by the way, who worked on Titanic, and he was showing us, what the whole deal was, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. So that's kind of like what got me into pursuing a career as set designer. But back then, this is several years ago, and there was no big industry in Mexico. There still isn't that big industry for production design in general.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's mostly filmed on location because they don't have the budgets that obviously Hollywood movies or TV shows have. So I moved to the U.S. in a different industry, and a few years back, I decided, like 2016, I was like, oh yeah, no, I want to do the entertainment thing. So I started doing some set design for independent films and props, storyboards, things like that. And that's always loved concept art, which for people that don't know, it's basically an illustration of how things are going to look for a film or TV show before anything is even filmed.
Right.
So both those crafts kind of like appeal to me. So yeah, I spent the last several years focusing on that, and now here we are.
Is it something where like somebody says, hey, it's a future where apes evolve from men, and we need this and this and this element? You're like, I got it, and then you just go? Or how closely do you work with the creatives on something like that?
It's both are very different. Like set design is more about the architectural elements, very specific. It's more about the construction of the actual sets, though virtual sets have been growing lately, and that's also a thing. Concept art is a little different in regards that you focus more on the big idea, and then you get into the details. So it's a little more of a blue sky, approach, like just coming up with crazy ideas and see what goes best with the production designer's view and the director, obviously. So
right.
they in my case, I'm sort of, it's funny because I'm sort of a noob to the industry, so I'm still like learning all the ins and outs. But yeah, I mean, they basically send me like, hey, this is all these examples of things that we like. We're looking for this type of thing. We have these ideas, and you kind of have to bring them to reality. Yeah, and then just show them, and there's like a few iterations, and then once it's approved by the director, then it goes ahead into production, and even it goes into set design if it's actually set pieces and they need to build. So you need to do the drafting and all that.
All that stuff.
Art. Yeah. So it's crazy. I'm still surprised of how many moving parts there are, and something that's probably going to be on screen for like 10 seconds, 30 seconds sometimes. So
yeah, well, filmmaking is always a collaborative art. I think that maybe at the indie level, something that we've always talked about is the fact that there's two ways to work with people. And unfortunately in the indie level, it's like, when you meet somebody, like when I talk to a makeup artist or a graphic artist or something like that, and they're like, yeah, I'd like to work with you. There's a difference between getting somebody to do exactly what you want, which is like them working for you, versus collaborating, where I would be like, hey, I need something for this film, and it's set in this, landscape. Can you just go nuts and come up with something? So when you're collaborating, if somebody's collaborating with you, they have to give up a little bit more control of the end product, right? As opposed to it being a job, right?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the project. I mean, it depends on obviously the size of the production. Like a lot of obviously shows, they have so many people involved that you have a certain specific role that you need to fulfill, Obviously, the higher in the ladder you go, I mean, if you're an art director, you have a little more control over what's being created, even though you might not necessarily be the one putting it together. And obviously, then higher up is a production designer, and he's pretty much the one that oversees all the creative parts, all the creative areas of the show. So when it comes to smaller projects, then you have definitely a lot more as a creator, a more control of what you want to show and your ideas to come.
You're bringing it to the table, right?
Yeah, exactly. Unless you're working like on Avatar, where I know that like James Cameron had, I don't know, like 50 concept artists working for like the last 5 years, just coming up with all these crazy ideas. I mean, that's obviously, one of those rare cases, and it depends, it depends on the projects. So, but yeah, I mean, there's obviously pros and cons to every type of project.
If James Cameron called you tomorrow and he said, would you rather work on Avatar 7 or Alita Battle Angel? Which one would you rather work on?
Ooh, man, that's a complicated one. Oh, man. My brain says Avatar, but my heart might go with Alita.
Yeah, especially Robert Rodriguez is directing, right?
Yeah, for sure, man.
All right, let's talk about Comic-Con that's coming up. The big thing, and this is something we're going to be talking on the show tonight, is it's going to be different than, obviously, Comic-Con's actually been different every year for the last 3 or 4 years, because the last time we had a full-on Hall H, packed house, you can't move, was pre-COVID. Then COVID gets canceled. Then we have the hybrid, like Thanksgiving little short Comic-Con they did, which was kind of empty. And then the next year it got a little bit more back to normal last year, but it was still not full on everything. And now we get the WGA writer's strike, which already caused a bunch of studios to cancel a lot of promotions and stuff they were doing. And now I just got a list of like 40 panels that were canceled because no actors are coming. So you can't do the thing where you go hang out at the Marriott or the at the bar at the hotels and just see all the famous people, because they're not going to be here. So it's going to be an old school, like maybe 10 years ago Comic-Con experience. While it was super commercialized, did you miss those sort of Comic-Con days? And what are you most looking forward to this kind of old school Comic-Con experience?
It's interesting because I moved to San Diego in 2008. So that's when I started going to Comic-Con. Obviously, I've heard of it for years. I mean, it was like, the mecca of comic book conventions. I always wanted to go. But even back then, you could still purchase your ticket online. Like I bought my tickets back then. Like I think it was probably the week before. I just got online and got a couple of tickets, and it was easy to just get in and out. And it wasn't as crazy, even though it was already having a lot of Hollywood elements to it. Like a lot of movies and TV shows were already coming here. I mean, from what I hear from people that have been going to Comic-Con since the 70s, it's obviously totally different.
Right.
I think the one of the things that changed for me several years ago was when I just got frustrated about trying to get in Hall H and trying to get into a panel, and it was like just spent 5 hours on the line and you didn't get in. So kind of like that had a little bit of how I changed my approach to Comic-Con, and I started going to other stuff, like smaller stuff, independent projects, artists, writers, makeup artists, costume designers, and all that. All those little panels for me were really enriching, because it was like, oh wow, you're learning all the behind the scenes stuff. I mean, it's great when you go to see, a Hall H panel and there's like, I don't know, Jason Momoa is over there,
right,
Charlize Theron. I mean, that's great. Right. It's a lot of fun. But for me, it was like, not that it was growing old. It was just like I spent so much time waiting online. So I was like, nah, I'd rather go see other stuff. And that's when I started learning. And that's when I decided, like, oh, I want to do a career change. I want to focus on this. So I think, in a way, this is what's going to happen this year, hopefully. that people go to the smaller panels and independent projects that they're always been there. It's just that
Right.
now it might be people might be more aware of them because there's no Hall H or huge TV shows and TV or movie panels.
There might be a line out of room 26B instead of Hall H, right?
Yeah, you never know.
Well, yeah, you're right. The old school, and ever since I've been in San Diego, I've been sort of aware of Comic-Con. And back in the day, it was just I used to know some people that worked at Comic-Con, so they would be like, "Hey, Comic-Con's this weekend. You want some passes?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, sure." And then you would show up, and anybody that was like in a stormtrooper uniform was like the default security. You know, they would be the ones manning the lines, and you could just basically like, "Oh, this is happening in Hall H right now," and you could just like walk in, and they'd be like, "Yeah, there's some seats over there." Yeah. Now it got to the point where people were camping out for 2 or 3 days to go see a Hall H panel on Sunday. And it was like, they're going to release the trailer at midnight tonight anyway. Why would you camp out for 3 days to see something? Or, standing in line to get a Funko exclusive that's going to be available at Walmart, in a week,
I'm gonna be started with the Funkos, man.
Yeah, exactly. I got a problem with that as well. So I'm looking forward to being able to spend more time, and the days of like Bryan Cranston walking around, with a mask, and Tobey Maguire walking around in Spider-Man costume and stuff like that. All that stuff.
One time I saw Kurtwood Smith just walking around without a mask, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's Clarence Boddicker!" Everybody was like, "Oh, Red Foreman!" I was like, "Yeah, but Clarence Boddicker for me."
Yeah, it's funny when you see. Like, I'm wondering if some of these actors that already had plans or maybe hotel rooms and they canceled, if they're still gonna just maybe show up as fans, and just walk around and do some stuff. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. We'll see what happens, man. I mean, I'm very excited because this time I'm a little more active on the pro side than before, because usually I would just go as a fan. But I'm excited to see what happens, and hopefully, we'll see many people stop by.
All right. Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about the projects that you have going on. As I pulled them up earlier before. An ancient mythical tale. Is it Mictlan? Is that how you?
Mictlan. Yeah. So this is an indie game. It's created. It's probably about 85% of the people working on the project are from Mexico. The creator, Guillermo Alarcón, he lives actually in Tokyo, but he's from Mexico, and he started putting together this project because he wanted to do. How you don't see, like in mass media, you don't see that much of pre-Columbian historical narratives in media. And I've always always wanted to do something along those lines. And when this project, started hearing about this project, I was like, oh, I want to be involved in that. So this is actually going to be our third Comic-Con. It's interesting because a lot of people are like, oh, when does it come out? And this is a different project than, let's say a project backed by a big studio, because, people don't realize it sometimes, but video games take a long time to develop. I mean, some of them, it could easily go for 5 years before it's released. So in this case,
GTA.
Yeah, exactly. And like in this case, it's an independent project, and it's created by a lot of people that know crafts, but they're not necessarily, like working in a studio or something. So it's kind of like putting it together. And the idea is to be a character, an Aztec character that's actually voiced by Horacio Garcia Rojas, who's going to be here. And he was in Netflix Diableros, and he's going to be voicing the main actor, and the idea is that you follow his path on your mission to explore the lands of the Aztecs. And there's a lot of concept art that we've worked on for the past few years. A lot of amazing artists putting it together, and we're going to showcase a little bit of that, the progress of it. Obviously, it's taking some time because, as I said, it's an indie game, but hopefully, people can stop by. We're going to be having a panel on Friday at 7 p.m. in room 29AB. Also Conejo, who's a rapper from LA. I think he's also doing another character as well. And yeah, we're going to talk about their experiences, because it's also about talking about representation, about how we need to see these kind of things more in media. And I think that the richness of Colombian cultures is something that can be very enriching, like a very good experience for all the geeks and fans and Latinos alike. So hopefully people will be able to join us.
And this is, kind of like a for and about, right? As opposed to something like Apocalypto, which is kind of through like a sort of a more of a white gaze, right, on culture and stuff like that. This is kind of like for us, by us.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a video game, so it's not supposed to be like a
true to life
documentary. It does have. I mean, we've been working with archaeologists and historians to develop the whole world, and it's based on actual things that happen, and the codexes and or the codex is that plural?
Codex.
Codex. And so it's all based on that, obviously, and but we're obviously adding a little bit of flair to make it an enjoyable experience. Kind of think of it's very inspiring, things like Ghost of Tsushima, and things like that. So
it's more open world.
Yeah.
Got it.
Well,
got it.
Hopefully not too small. It's going to be
All right, so number one thing where I will be Friday at 7 p.m. in room 29AB with special guests Conejo and Horacio Garcia Rojas. So come check out Jose, and I'm assuming you guys are going to be showing little bits and pieces there, talking about the progress of the game, etc.
Yeah, there's going to be updates on what we have for people that have been already there the past year. You're going to see new updates, and we're going to have some we can talk to the fans after the panel, because usually we run out of time.
Yeah, usually they're like, come on, wrap it up. The Comic-Con guy comes in.
Exactly.
5 minutes for questions. Let's go. All right, and then another thing, because you're gonna be busy this week. Are you gonna have time for cosplaying? Are you gonna bust out the post-apocalyptic Batman this year? Or
no, actually, I'm not gonna do Batman this year, but I do have a couple of cosplay ideas that I hope I have time for all of them. But we'll see what happens.
No Batman and Wonder Woman roaming.
Well, it's just that, man, it gets really hot.
Yeah.
And we just got hit with really, really high temperatures here. So now I'm gonna skip Batman this year.
Especially anything that has like a leather trench coat.
I know. So yeah, there's the McPlan panel on Friday. Then on Saturday, I'm part of the Art Directors Guild. I joined last year. Now I've been working with them as concept artist and assistant art director. And they do portfolio reviews. They have panels and they do portfolio reviews. And I was invited over to do portfolio reviews this year, which is, for me, it's kind of special because I'm kind of coming full circle, because back in 2016, that was the first time I got my portfolio reviewed by artists from the ADG. And that's when I learned, like, oh man, this is going to take longer than I thought. But it's great because they give you honest feedback. They tell you what you need to do to improve your presentation and how to get to those jobs that if you're interested in working in the entertainment industry, either storyboards, concept art, things like that, we can talk about it. So if you want to get your portfolio reviewed, it's not just going to be me. There's going to be other great artists reviewing portfolios. So stop by the sales pavilion a little earlier than that and sign up. We're going to be there.
You can walk in and do it, but you have to sign up before it starts.
Yeah. You don't have to be in line for 3 hours. And then on Sunday, I'm also a member of the Concept Art Association, which is an organization that's been pushing for the acknowledgement of concept art pretty much across the world. I mean, there's members from all over the world. I mean, it's based in the US, and they put together the Concept Art Awards during the Lightbox Expo, which is in October, I think, late September, October. and the idea is to bring the concept art to to the people, and that they learn about it. So they're going to have different artists take over their booth at different times during Comic-Con. So I'll stop by several times. You might see some sketch battles between artists or demos. I'm going to be doing portfolio reviews, and I'm going to have some prints as well. Some of them prints that we're going to have, which we're also going to have during the panel. So if you're interested in getting some cool prints, stop by. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to be busy with that and trying to find time to meet more people and network and cosplay and sleep.
Well, look, all my background stuff. This is a new piece that I got at the Frida show down here.
Nice.
That's Lalo Alcaraz right there. We got Mello here, another artist that I know. So all my art that I put in the background of my stuff is always independent artists that I collect. And one of the things I look forward to, like back there, the Jay Dilla stuff and the Mad Villain poster I have, those are all from the same artist. And I go visit them every year at the booth in Comic-Con. I say, what do you got new? And he's like,
all right, well, I'll get you a set of prints.
Well, anything that you bring, we're gonna throw it on in the background, Jose.
Awesome.
So besides sorry, brain fart there. So yeah, make sure that if you guys are in on Friday, room 29AB, 7 p.m. is the Mictlan panel. They'll be talking about the video game, the codex, the developments and updates. If you are an artist and would like to take that next step, be brave and have somebody review your artwork, Saturday, show up early, sales pavilion upstairs. You might get your art reviewed by Jose or another highly qualified artist. And then the Concept Art Association takeover is Sunday, booth 5012. So I'm adding all of those. I got my calendar, and we'll begin talking about on the live show. We're going to be talking about accidental aliens. We're going to talk about Afrofuturism panel. Uraeus, one of the homies, is coming down. He's got a bunch of stuff happening there. I got it all on my calendar so that instead of people watching and looking for celebrities, we're going to be supporting local independent artists, international independent artists.
Awesome.
With a special focus for Mi Gente show on trying to spotlight Latinos and people of color. So we're going to be out there on these Comic-Con streets trying to stay cool while we're out there. So everybody go check out Jose. And is there anywhere else where people can find your artwork or stuff like that besides Comic-Con? Do you have a website, or how can they follow you?
I mostly post on Instagram. It's at KUZEH75 at KUSES75. I can send you my link tree if you want to add it or something.
Send it to me. I'll put it in the description when I drop the video.
And I I'll have my website, ArtStation, and all that stuff, and some videos and some cool stuff. So if you want to give it a follow and see the journey we've been on for the past few years.
Excellent. And also, as somebody who's known you for several years now and got to work with you in your musical career, is the music stuff on hold while you're doing this, or do you guys still mess around?
I was still doing some music during the pandemic. It was crazy because I have a friend in Mexico where we actually make music together. We kind of put it on hold, but we're gonna start hopefully in the next few weeks doing some new stuff. Because art is my life, man. Like anything from drawing and sketching and making music and all that's my jam.
Yeah, absolutely. I vary between wanting to direct, wanting to do podcasts, wanting to create art, physical art, editing, writing. So at least we're out here creating stuff. It's
exactly.
Might as well. And spoiler alert, since like I said, I've known you for several years now, since we collaborated on some stuff for Alien Story, and we might be able to collaborate on something in the future. Hold your breath. We'll update that when it happens. But for now, make sure that you guys are out there Friday, 7 p.m., 29AB for the video game. And is that going to be something that'll be like on stream, on like
We're eventually, we're recording the video. We're recording the panel, but I'm not sure when it's gonna be available. But we're probably gonna post it on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere.
No, I mean the video game eventually would be like an indie game, like on Steam.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the panel. Yeah, the video game is gonna be available for PlayStation and for Xbox and PCs. Yeah, we've already had some talks with PlayStation, with Sony and Microsoft. And
nice.
Hopefully, and I actually think it's already in pre-order on Steam, but it's still, we don't have a release date yet. So
yeah, man. So for this year, this hybrid sort of weird, non-commercialized Comic-Con, let's celebrate every indie artist that we can. Go out there, spend some money in those booths, talk to people, collaborate. Let's get some more art there, especially, like I said, for Latinos and people of color. So, Jose, we'll do a postmortem right here, right now. Let me end this recording. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we'll get back to the live show.
We're back.
We're back.
That was awesome, man.
Yeah.
I love when you guys were talking about the Hall H thing and how I hadn't looked at it the way that you mentioned about like it, because of everything that's going on with the writer's strike and everything. It's gonna have more of like an OG Comic-Con feel because it became such a huge, event worldwide. I'm like kind of excited.
Yeah, but it used to be back in the day. It was just like comic books, people cosplaying, a couple of different, panels and stuff like that. And then once it became so popular, the studios were like, "Oh, we're gonna do this huge installation." And then it was like the Game of Thrones experience and the the vampire experience and Walking Dead thing. And it was just, what are they gonna release on the Walking Dead panel, and you had to stay up for 2 days and camp out to be able to get in there.
Super mainstream. Yeah. I remember waiting in line for the Guardians of the Galaxy one and definitely did not get in. But
yeah. And before it would be, you would just be walking by Hall H and they'd be like, and you would just open the door and you could walk in and just sit down and just see what was happening. But for the last several years, you couldn't do that. You'd have to plan ahead and you'd have to miss your whole Comic-Con to do that, so I never understood that fanaticism, especially when it was like, but to each their own. So yeah, that was a really great interview with Jose, and make sure that you guys check out that the video game looks pretty cool too. I mean, not that you're a gamer, but
I can try
a game about sort of like Aztec culture and stuff like that, pre-Columbian.
Dude, yeah, wait, that actually sounds really cool. I kind of want to try it.
It's like a GTA Azteca.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, no, I'm interested in doing that. All right, we're gonna have a couple of more guests coming on at some point today. The link is out there. If you are watching this and you have something to promote, send it in, put it in the chat, or hit me up if you know me, inbox. And we'll get you on the show to talk a little bit about your booth. I also am going to be pulling up my schedule and seeing where we're going to be at, because there's already a couple of things that I absolutely know we're going to be at. Let me just pull that up real quick for everybody. All right, yeah, so there is a Afrofuturism panel on Thursday at 5:30 p.m.
Yes.
And I'm definitely going to be there. There is the Mictlan panel, 7 p.m. Friday, room 29AB. And there is the Black Heroes Matter panel on Saturday at 6 p.m. in room 29AB, as well as a Dark Side Mixer. There's also the Andy Dukelith, who's been on the show, Accidental Aliens. Their panel is on Saturday at 5 p.m. at the Omni Hotel in the ballroom, 4th floor. They'll be part of.
Does that mean it's open to the public or no?
I don't know. Some of the stuff in the hotels you can get into. Some of them you still need a badge, so it just kind of depends. But those are the main ones that I have. There was a list of all the panels that got canceled. I was going to go to the Venture Brothers panel on Thursday, and then there was Indie Apocalypse, not Indie Apocalypse, Metalocalypse was having a panel, and those anything.
No, are you serious?
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff happening that is no longer happening.
Metalocalypse. Ah, dude.
Do you like Metalocalypse?
You showed me a long time ago, remember? You were like, you have to watch this. I was like, okay. And I loved it.
Yeah, it's so fucking good. And they have a new movie coming out, so that's why they were going to play it. I think they were going to play it. Yeah. Adult Swim, I think, will still be there. They're the I think they're going to have one of their things on the green behind Comic-Con that will be open to the public. So there'll be cool stuff happening there. So I'll be there for parts of it. Let's just do some palate cleansers or just check on some stuff that's happening in the news real quick while we wait for our next guest. How do you feel about that?
Sounds good. Let's do that. Let's do it.
All right. So new Dark Brandon dropped. He's gonna forgive $39 billion in student debt for 800,000 followers. So basically, the Supreme Court, blah 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 blah. Everybody knows what happened. They canceled his cancellation of student debt. They canceled his cancellation. But now he's like, no, I'm gonna cancel some different. Is there a crossover between the people that were gonna get their student debts canceled to this, or is this a whole new group of borrowers? Because some of it was saying is like people that have been making payments for like 20-25 years. I'm pretty sure that doesn't apply to you, but
no, I'm not aware. I don't know. I thought that they were still fighting for the same for like the same bill essentially. So I didn't. Yeah.
No, this is historic relief will provide an income-driven payments plan in which the federal government cancels borrowers' outstanding balances after they have made their payments for 20 or 25 years. MAGA world is furious, blah blah blah. Obviously, Biden's education department will notify eligible borrowers in the coming days. It cannot be stressed enough what a big deal, blah 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 blah. This is kind of a propaganda laced one, but I do know that he did drop a new, I guess he's like, they love it when I give them money. I gotta keep doing it.
Well, yeah. I mean, help us out. We're broke. We live in freaking capitalist society. We need help. We're at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if it says like whether this is kind of like a different set of people or who does this thing.
Well, the whole if you've been doing repayments for 20-25 years, then that would be a different set of people.
Yeah. We'll look third into it, but he's trying to do stuff, right? All right, we're gonna do this one more thing. I see David's joining us in the back. We'll bring you on in like 2 minutes. All right, have you seen this?
No, what is it?
This is this is a
TikTok.
This is a trend on TikTok where you sort of play as an NPC, and basically what happens is just watch.
Okay.
Grab. Yes, strong woman. Yes, strong. Take your Tony. Can I eat it? So cute. Balloon. Take your Anna. Take your Maya. Hey! Take your Anna, take your Jolan, take your Anusti, take your Rika, take your Jolan, take your A, take your Emma, take your Maribel. Ice cream so good. Gang. Hey! Balloon. Hey! Oh, take it, baby. This is so cute. Take you, Tony. Watermelon. God, amazing. Hey! Take your Shimmer. Slay, huh? Cash. Grab. Yes, strong woman. Ice cream so good. Yes. Yes. Hey, cash. Yes, fashion. Yes. Hey, leave the dog alone. Yes, strong woman. Yes. Arrête. Arrête. Yes. Yes. Hey, take your Tony. Oh, jellyfish. A pearl for me. Give it to me. Take you Isabel. Cash, Gracie. Arrête. Thank you for the galaxy. I got you.
That is literally us on the stream all the time.
Balloon. Arrête! Cash, Gracie! Oh, special. Gracie! Cash! Je ne pas ta chambre. Non.
She's about to pop those dogs. Damn, that is literally you and me on the stream whenever our dogs get the zoomies.
Yeah. But so basically on TikTok, if you go live, people can buy gifts to send you, right? And each gift is equivalent to $1. So there's this trend now where these people are doing this live on stream, and she just plays. Obviously, this one is an interesting one, but there's ones where she never breaks character, and she's just like for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, just gang, ice cream, so good. Also, let's also remember that she's making popcorn with hair.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah, it's a hair straightener.
With a hair straightener, one kernel at a time.
What the hell? This is amazing.
Yeah. So why aren't you doing this for money? All right, this is another.
should.
This is another version of this, and we'll get David on here in a second.
I promise. Stinky swear.
How spicy?
Hot dog, yum.
You just act like
hot
you're.
dog, yum.
And somebody sends you a donut, you go
Donuts, yum.
and then
I can do that. Let's
like
do that.
and like a donut could be worth like 50 cents as a tip, but then there's some of them that are like $5, $10. So you can just go and just act like a fool for an hour a night on TikTok. Sophia, ice cream's so good.
I would love to do that. Fuck yeah. Thank you.
Pumpkin, yum.
What are these called?
Spicy.
Is it?
Ice cream, yum.
NPC month.
Ice cream, yum.
I don't know.
Once we get to 350, I'll leave. I promise. Stinky swear.
How spicy?
What the
Hot dog, yum.
It's too early in the stream for that.
All right, sorry. Hot. Anyway, if there's anything you can take from that, it's hot dog yum. Ice cream so good. Gang. All right, that was that's a little play. Yeah, that's today's. Why aren't we doing this to get rich, Sophia?
Exactly.
Link of the day. Yeah, I would do that. All right, so let's keep going with more Comic-Con talk. We have next person coming on our stream tonight is a podcaster, director, editor, corporate titan, just voiceover actor. What can you say about this guy? He does it all. We've been on each other's shows several times, so let's bring on the intellectual himself, Mr. Dawson. David.
I feel like I'm a massive letdown after.
You can't live up to that, huh?
Hot dogs, so good.
Oh my god!
Oh no, it's ice cream so good. Hot dog yum.
We've come to the point where people are living out video game fantasies. I mean, that's
This is so essentially what this is the NPC fantasy where and the NPC means like non-playable character, right, David? Like the people that are bots in GTA.
I want to feed the hot elf that doesn't say anything but 3 lines.
Right. And so now these people. Now this happens to be the other one is an influencer. I think she's French or something. But this girl, she's also an adult star, my cherry crush. So she maybe is doing it to like push people to her like her OnlyFans and stuff as well. But this is like the PG version of like an OnlyFans here, because you get to literally control somebody's movements and life, and you're just sitting there clicking buttons and sending them. You buy bits like you would like on Twitch or something, or you buy these things, and on TikTok you're able to exchange those for gifts. TikTok gets a little money, the influencer gets a little bit of money, and as soon as it pops up on screen, you just do the appropriate gang.
Yeah. I mean, it makes more sense than an NFT. So
yeah. But there's a little bit of a power trip of getting people to do something for money. It's like it feeds into something kind of weird, right?
Yeah, I mean, we make movies to try and influence people to spend money on tickets to sit their butts in a dark room together. So
yeah, it does happen.
Well, when you put it like that, it doesn't seem so appealing.
That's at least like really quick return, right?
That's true. Exactly. It's like an hour.
But listen, you do that, you sell your soul for an hour, you might make $300-400, $1,000. You don't know.
Hey, I mean,
You've convinced me, Lou. You've sold
I
me.
know how other ladies have put themselves through nursing school, so you know.
That's true.
It happens. All right. Well, anyway, David stopping by, checking in on us, talking a little bit about Comic-Con and stuff. We're gonna get into Kung Fu Ghost, which is available a lot of places to view right now, which David was in. Jennifer Lynch, actress director, who I know from when she started here in San Diego,
right?
And we're gonna get into that. But David, I wanted to get your thoughts real quick. You're a Comic-Con vet. Obviously, you remember the old school days. You know, stormtroopers doing security and lines and stuff like that. More indie based and stuff like that. Are you looking forward to this sort of toned down? Is this like a gift in disguise? The post strike Comic-Con feel?
Well, I think it's a double-edged sword, and I was having this conversation with a couple people this week who were saying, you know, essentially that, oh, thank goodness Hollywood's not going to be there. It's going to be comics and cosplay and anime, and we can enjoy the con, and you know, it won't be crazy.
Yeah.
Well, they already sold all the tickets based on Hollywood being there, so people have made their travel arrangements. They're not going to back out at this point, not this late in the game. So you're still going to have those 8,000 or 9,000 people who were expecting to go to Hall H now just crowding out the rest of the con. So I'm kind of curious as to how the crowd's going to feel, regardless of everything else feeling smaller. The crowd's still going to be a huge Hollywood-based crowd of a number of people who will be disappointed in whatever's presented to them because they were expecting to be there for Marvel. They were expecting to be there for, you know, DC or whatever, and instead they're going to get comic books and anime, which is not what the 6,000 to 8,000 people who wait all night every night of the con to get into Hall H are there for. So it's going to be a mixed bag.
Yeah, so I mean, there was already sort of rumblings of all the studios for weeks back that they weren't going to really send anybody. So, but you think like people, yeah, we're in July. You had to decide you wanted to spend the money and come
in
out
November,
this year, November of 20 of last
November for pros and like February for everybody else, right?
Yeah,
So I mean, it's like at this point the tickets were all sold. So
yeah, that's true.
And you know, hotels are sold out months and months ago.
Right.
So there's no way, you know, that those 8,000-10,000 people who spend each day at Hall H aren't going to be there. 10,000 people who.
That's true.
Ooh, hey,
whoa!
I heard myself.
Extra dog.
A whole lot of Dawson.
That's a whole lot of Dawson. Things that.
But yeah, I just think it's going to be a mixed bag because you're going to have a bunch of people who will be unhappy because Hollywood's not there. You're going to have a bunch of people who will be very happy that Hollywood's not there. But you know, I think more than anything, the crowd's going to be more of a problem than ever because those 6,000 to 8,000 people that are normally occupied in Hall H are now going to be roaming everything else, and it was already crowded without them.
That's true. Oof.
True. Maybe we can get them something to stand in line for.
That reminds me when the panel would like immediately end, and then all of a sudden it was like shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah,
with
all of a sudden everything's
you're like, oh, Hall H is done.
Yeah, Hall H just let out. Yep.
Yeah.
Look,
that's going to be every day this year.
Every day. Oh wow! I was so excited before that, David. Damn.
I enjoyed Comic-Con last year because it was less crowded and you could like actually move around a little bit.
Yeah.
And
the
first
I don't know.
year.
I don't know if it was actually less crowded or if it was just like 20% of the crowd was stuck in the COVID check line trying to get in.
That also could have been
for most of the day, so it just felt less crowded.
Yeah, that was a bitch.
But every time I went out and looked at the line for COVID check, it was quarter mile long. I was like,
till Sunday late. Till Sunday late.
It was insane.
Yeah.
So none of those people are going to be stuck in a COVID line, and nobody's going to be in Hall H. So
and the same amount of people bought tickets that probably last year, probably more than last year, bought tickets. So it might be a clusterfuck.
And there's probably going to be less things to do outside too. So.
But this is
I haven't heard about the pop-ups outside. I mean, a lot of those were like the TV networks and stuff, and I know some of the people who perform in those pop-ups are SAG actors and SAG background actors, and I don't know if they have the people to man all that stuff now.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how crowded it is inside and outside, especially. But I think this is an opportunity for indie films, indie producers, indie comics to take advantage of that, as the same as it's going to be an opportunity for places around San Diego, other tourist attractions. It's the what the fuck? Worst case scenario, these people are going to show up at the beach, right? They're like, "We're in San Diego. What the fuck do we do?" It's 90.
I think
July.
it'll be a boon for the gas lamp.
Oh yeah, the gas lamp's gonna be popping again.
It's gonna be a boon for the gas lamp, and yeah, the beaches in the local area will probably end up being pretty crowded.
Yeah.
Especially if it's as hot as it's been.
And it's going to be extra crowded in the small press area because there's going to be more people walking around. So, so let's talk a little bit about what's happening for you specifically this year. I know that you guys are doing a pop-up at a bar. Do you also have a booth this year for the movie, or?
No, apparently, and I'm showing up where I'm told is basically how I'm handling. I'm not part of like putting it all together, but I believe that Jennifer and Eddie Lane have set up a space for us at the Blarney Stone in the gas lamp. And so we'll be there. There'll be like a red carpet and a backdrop, and we'll be signing autographs and, meeting fans and doing that sort of stuff Thursday through Sunday. Various levels of the cast will be there at any given time, and come down, hang out. I think Eddie's also going to be setting up like an audition space for various indie producers in San Diego who are looking for fresh talent for their films and stuff. So it could be an interesting opportunity for somebody who wants to jump into indie film. Speaking of making the most of indie film time at Comic-Con, right?
So it's a pop-up / cattle call. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, essentially.
And I'll
be there to like, show people that I'm not in fact bald as my character is.
Yeah, talk a little bit about the movie, about working with Jennifer, and kind of how you entered into that sphere.
So Jennifer came on my podcast, The Intellectual, a couple times, and we chatted about her action shorts that she'd been making, and she posted online at one point in 2019 that she was looking for an Asian actor specifically to play her grandfather. And I didn't see her get very many responses. So I wrote her and said, "Hey, I'm half Filipino. I don't know if that's Asian enough for you, but I'd be happy to come and chat with you." So we took a lunch, and she walked me through the script and wanted to know if I would be interested in playing it. I was like, well, if I could kind of mix together a number of different influences, I think it could be really interesting. A little Pai Mei and a little Kung Fu Panda, and then just like a little bit of Mr. Miyagi, just kind of blend all those things together, and then a little bit of me and see what we can come up with. And she was amenable to it, and we started training. I actually started learning Akata, and I was doing some training and whatnot, but I actually blew my knee out like just before we shot.
Oh.
So actually in the movie, Grandpa is using a cane to get around, and it looks great for the character, but the reality was I had to have a cane to walk around.
You actually needed it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Is Akata the art of essentially like causing harm through self-defense only? Or how would you describe it?
So,
defensive movements.
Yeah, mostly what I was doing was defensive movements. Primarily my shtick in the movie is I'm a ghost, so I actually don't do any fighting. So I am the titular character. I'm the Kung Fu ghost, right?
You're the ghost of Obi-Wan, a little Obi-Wan.
Yeah, essentially. Jennifer does a boatload of fighting in the movie, and she's quite impressive. And Shane Alexander and his team, they choreographed all the fights. We had 5 days of shooting that was just fights.
Wow.
And they kicked each other's ass for 5 days. Jen was bruised up and banged up really good. And you have to also understand that the shoot happened the exact 3 weeks leading into lockdown.
Oh my gosh.
So we were in this little bubble shooting these fight scenes and the film for like 20 days, and 21 days Newsom announced the lockdown. 22 days the lockdown happened, right? Like it was
gosh.
we finished right as it started, and all through the shoot, our cinematographer Jerome Dolbert, he's French, and he had flown in from Europe to work on the film. And all those kind of early reports coming in from Europe of Italy shutting down and flights now, nobody's allowed to fly into the country, and so there was all this stuff going on. We were worried. Now we have a European on the crew.
Was he stuck here?
Yeah, he was stuck here for a little while, and
man.
Jen got super sick the first like 5 days while we were shooting the fights, and we didn't know. Maybe she contracted something from him. There was a lot of weird like things to cope with and deal with, and
there wasn't any like
there was pretty quick, but nobody knew anything at the time, and there was
no rapid test.
We were so in that bubble of making the movie too. It just kind of became this safe space, like quickly go home, go to bed, get back to set where we're all safe. At least we all know each other, and we're in this tight little space. And
right.
The whole world was going crazy outside. So we'd do takes, and then I'd pull my phone out and like be checking the news to see what happened in the 20 minutes we were shooting a scene. It's
oh my god.
It was a really wild experience. And we had guys like some of the stunt crew was down from Canada. And so they were starting to worry about whether they would be able to get back, if the border got shut down before we were done with their parts. And one of the guy who plays the love interest for Jen in the movie, he's from South Carolina or North Carolina, and
it's a real international affair.
It was everybody had all these concerns because just so much weirdness was going on. So it was an interesting experience. And then on top of everything else, it was Jen's first feature film. So all the kind of lessons that a new director, especially actor director, has to learn shooting a feature film. Like we were going through all that with her. And but she did it, man. She pulled it off. And then she ended up editing the whole thing herself in lockdown.
Whoa.
So, I mean, my hat's off to Jennifer Lynch. Like she busted her ass. She got her ass kicked. And then she saw the thing all the way to the finish line, and she's gotten us distribution all over the world, which is kind of amazing. And we're streaming on Peacock. If you've got a Peacock subscription, it's free to watch there. I think it's now free to watch on Amazon Prime if you're a Prime member.
There you go.
But it's on all the major streaming platforms and Vudu and whatnot. So
and and the true sign of a success, it's getting it's on torrent sites. It's being pirated.
Yeah, we got pirated within 24 hours.
That's how you know it's good.
But in Egypt, and Russia within 36 hours, and Russia dubbed us in Russian within those 36 hours. So I actually saw clips of my character with a Russian dub on him,
that's amazing.
Which was a total trip.
Yeah, absolutely. And shout out Jennifer Lynch, because as I said earlier, when she, like literally when they were buying like sound and camera equipment when they were first starting out, we got connected through somehow, and I was on set with them for one of their shorts. I think it was even the first day they were shooting, helping out. I even ran a couple of shots, just kind of like, like she was kind of producing and running everything, and I was helping out a little bit. And I just basically said, hey, just kind of going to do my thing until you kind of catch hold of your bearings of everything. And just whenever you're ready, take over, just to try to get some basic stuff for her. And a couple hours in, she was like, boom, I got this. And she's been taking off. And definitely her passion and her work ethic seem to be unparalleled. Obviously,
she's definitely got a don't take no for an answer attitude. Like,
she knows what she's making films for, right? She's definitely working for a niche audience, but she knows exactly what she's trying to do. So, more power to her. We wish her the best of luck with that. So are you gonna? What days is this pop up happening? Is it the entire weekend, or is it certain times?
I think it's Thursday through Sunday. I believe someone is there
Every day.
Every day. I'll be there. Right now, my plan is to be there at least Friday and Saturday afternoon / evening after work. I might be down on Thursday as well. So, yeah, if you're down, come down to the Blarney Stone. I'll sign autographs.
All right.
Yes. I'll try to be there on Thursday.
Which is still just a weird thing to do.
Yeah.
But you're the Kung Fu Ghost, David. Come on.
Yeah, well, and
so
I also do the voice of Yoda in Raymond Montemayor's Star Wars Toy Story series. And I got to do an autograph signing up under the sales at Comic-Con for those films in 2019, and it was bizarre to be on that side of everything.
Yeah.
You know, it was a lot of fun though. It was fun to have little kids come up and not know who I am until I do the Yoda voice, and then watch their eyes.
Can you do a little Yoda? Like, come on, just a little something.
Yoda's. Hey, there I am. Look at
that. There you. Oh my gosh.
With the one crazy eye.
Unrecognizable.
Yeah.
Wow.
I literally shaved my head every day for a month.
The fact that you've lost so much weight since then actually makes the makeup job look that much better. Because when they see you now and they're like, "Oh man, do you have a fat suit on too?" That's crazy. That's a lot of work.
I was. Let's see. I was 65 or 70 pounds heavier when we shot the movie.
Yeah, Dan, that's another thing I would say. Congrats on your continuing success on your weight loss journey. Jelly over here.
Do or do not. There is no try.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting your autograph on Thursday. I'm taking my baby Yoda.
Taking your baby Yoda. So catch Kung Fu Ghost on Peacock, Amazon, or pirate it from reputable Russian places only. All right.
Very good.
Very good. I am the Kung Fu, how you say, ghost. Yeah?
I am Kung Fu Haya.
All right. I want to also, friend of the show, previous guest, Andy Dukelith is also going to be at Comic-Con. Accidental Aliens, as I mentioned, will be at the Omni in the ballroom, I believe, on Saturday. They'll be at K07 in the small press area. Andy will be doing new prints of some of her really cool new stuff available, soon to be seen in my background here. And they'll be selling their previous versions of their Accidental Aliens anthology and having merch there. So stop by Small Press K07.
I love that design.
Yeah, she's a beast. So shout out Andy, previous guest and friend of the show, for checking out. Also Jose Turriaga, as I mentioned before, for the Mictlan video game panel on Friday at 7. And also he'll be in the sales pavilion doing portfolio reviews. If you get there early enough as an artist, you can show some of your drawings and go from there.
Drawings.
Very good.
So we're gonna jump into some other. Do you have some time to hang, David, or are you gotta do your makeup, or what's happening, man? Because we're about to jump in a couple of things here.
I actually have a voice recording I need to do tonight.
All right. No worries.
Like,
I have that full-time job in the daytime now, so
yeah.
So I have to do all that creative work at night. So
I like
that's the worst.
I mean, it's okay. I'm making a ton of money now. So,
no shit. All right.
So it's all right,
Bravo.
Got it. Yeah. Well, shit.
Yeah, I gotta keep the creative net going too. So.
Yes, get your hustle on.
Well, we got a crowdfunding for the next movie coming up, so that's great to hear. We'll be spamming you those links. All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, David, for stopping by. You're always welcome to come on the show.
I appreciate you guys, and hopefully I'll see you this weekend at the con.
Absolutely.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
All right. Take it easy, David.
Bye.
All right. David Dawson.
Lovely. David Dawson, the Kung Fu Ghost. The Yoda.
Stopping by to hang out,
Dude, yeah, that's exciting. I'm excited I'm gonna get to do stuff. I want to go to his booth.
Yeah, well, that might be a good place to start.
I'm only gonna be there on Thursday, and that's it.
Well, so I mean,
on the outside.
We can start there. It's a bar, so I'm sure we can have a beer and then go see what's going on. Yeah, I should be there. I don't know what time. We'll figure out. We'll coordinate our stream. All right.
Yeah, we'll coordinate. Anyway,
we'll coordinate. As far as coordination, we will.
We'll do it.
But let's not dox ourselves here like right away. Like not that anybody's, not that we're like, oh, just
who
follow
knows? Who knows? Maybe somebody.
I know. We'll see.
Maybe we have a few stalkers. Who knows? We don't know.
You never know. You never know. Hey, listen, they're out there. I've been stalked before. I not stalked before. I've been
by me.
by I did mention this at karaoke the other day because somebody sang "I'll Be Watching You." You know, the stalker song.
Yeah,
Move you. And somebody, while I was in high school, senior year of high school, back when radio call-in shows used to be a thing, and that was the cheeseman because you would like stay up at night and be like, who did dedications, right?
Yeah.
And somebody dedicated that song to me. And
Shut up.
I never found out who it was. And I was like, oh shit.
That's so creepy.
Yeah.
Wait.
So if you're watching now from 20 plus years ago in high school, show yourself.
But that's also not even romantic. Like that's not a secret admirer. That's like a friend like trying to fuck with you. Like that's a creepy, I'm watching you. I'm gonna do something.
Yeah, but it was just like back then. It was like to spend, every move, every step, every breath you take.
Every breath. Oh, they were outside of your window. They saw your reaction.
There was a couple of chicks back then that were obsessed with me, so it could have been one of those.
Okay.
I mean,
so humble as always.
Humble as always, yes. The problem is in my mind, I still think I'm that guy, so that's why I still act the way I do. So that's how. All right, so we're gonna just jump into some other news and stuff. I know you sent me a couple of links to go in through. Let's get into some Hellscape Watch then.
All right.
This is fine.
This is fine. It's so fine. It's
totally fine. Totally fine.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into your link first, and then we'll get into a couple of.
Well, I want to preface just because basically what it has to do with is Alexa Nicholas was one of the girls that we talked about last week when we were talking about Jonah Hill, and we went through her Twitter, and she basically alleges that there was this party with Jonah Hill a while ago and Justin Long and a few other actors, and they were all essentially having minors there. And I did not know the name Alexa Nicholas. Like I was like, oh, okay, we thought it was some random girl, right? But turns out she's actually a very famous actress. Well, at least in my day, to my generation. She was in Zoe 101. I grew up with this girl. Like, I love Alexa Nicholas. So I didn't realize it was her. So now it makes a lot more sense why she would be part of the industry and kind of like have an insight. Mm-hmm. So I delved a little deeper. I was like, okay, Alexa Nicholas is saying it, but maybe she's crazy. Maybe she's one of those young actresses that went a little cuckoo bananas. But then I went deep into the rabbit hole of her allegations. Now she has a very accurate allegation towards Dan Schneider. He didn't come out to be a pedophile, but like a lot of allegations have come by that like now he doesn't really have a career. She's made allegations about what went on the Zoe 101 set. Which then were proven to be true, especially when the Britney Spears thing happened, which leads me to this story. One of her main like stories for being bullied on set was that Jamie Lynn Spears would bully her consistently. And there was this one instance where Britney Spears came and Britney essentially yelled at Alexa Nicholas, who there's got to be like a 30-year difference. Like she was a child at the time. And mind you, and so up until then, everyone's like, Alexa Nicholas, she's crazy, she's lying, all this stuff. Britney Spears actually came out and apologized to her, acknowledging it happened. So that brings me to, we have to clear Alexa Nicholas's name because so far, all of the allegations that she said have been true.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
Yeah. So this is basically the story about Britney Spears and her apology. So
she was on a Nickelodeon show. Is that what she was on?
She was on Nickelodeon show Zoe 101, which starred Jamie Lynn Spears, which is Britney Spears' younger sister.
Got it.
And Jamie Lynn is very problematic, especially with the whole Britney Spears saga. She took she was very much, you know, aligned
Right.
with her parents and taking advantage of her conservativeship and stuff like that. And Alexa Nicholas just had stories of her getting bullied by Jamie Lynn on set, which one of them speaks of Britney Spears, kind of getting her face and talking shit. And we all thought she was bullshitting until Miss Britney Spears herself sent out an apology to Alexa,
This is
which
her
should be
apology.
somewhere there. Go a little, zoom in a little more to the smaller letters. Go up.
Oh, this one?
No, let me see. Stop
This
right
one?
there.
No,
Hold
well,
on.
oh, sorry, I'm a little behind
See
you.
there. Somewhere there. Although I have apologized to you personally just by instinct my hard time.
Oh, lengthy post to Twitter. I'm sorry.
There we go.
Oh, no, it's,
darn, it was
they took it down. Is it
it's
this?
somewhere
Is
in
it
between
broke
all
my
these
hair?
pictures. So like right there, my sister, go to the top. No, it's not
Yeah.
that one. Go here. My sister was literally like my daughter growing up. So I apologize for my ignorance for yelling at you when I obviously had no idea what was really going on. Brittany wrote, adding, Jesus Christ, I was pregnant. And let's be honest, all of these moms and dads, the watchful white owls who hide behind scenes observing their child stars, referring to my mother, who should have immediately stepped in and took over the situation. I told my 9-month pregnant self to sit down, relax, and have a sprinkles cupcake. Yada yada yada. It was a very lengthy apology. I think the screenshot there that says it broke my heart to see, that's something to do with 2021 where she speaks directly to Alexa. So basically it states it broke my heart to see your interview about your experience in the business. Hollywood is a place of dreams, but let's be honest, on rare occasions do people come out years later and share the dark side. There are thousands of people with broken dreams, and I'm absolutely in awe of you raising awareness for the next generation on how to be protected. The one thing you said you wish you could have told your younger self is that you wish you could have known, you could have just walked away. Countless times I did the same thing and I took the abuse. Scroll down. Yeah, this one is basically just kind of like, yeah, although I apologize to you personally, just by instinct, my heart at the time didn't know how incredibly good my family was at with the acting language. Just imagine. And then it continues, but basically, yada yada. What was done to me is frankly beyond it all. And it just continues until she gets to the final apology. Oh, she says, okay, but I do write you this message today because I'm sorry for ever hurting your feelings. You should tell Nickelodeon to kiss your ass, Britney Spears. And then Alexa just replied, is Britney, bitch. She's right, love you so much. Seriously crying. Thank you so much. All that stuff. Because imagine going decades talking your shit and people not believing you. You know, it's like, So anyway, the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because last week we kind of talked about what Alexa said and we were giving a lot of benefits of doubts, and we should, right? But she's not just like one crazy person yelling out to the void. She's actually like someone who is deep in the Nickelodeon bubble, got to work with a lot of big stars, got to party with a lot of big stars, and just went through it. And so now she's an activist, and she was actually on the podcast with Christy Carlson Romano, who was also a Disney star. And her whole story, I just recommend everyone watch that. It was, yeah. So Alexa Nicholas, friend of the show now. We like her.
We're promoting her. Okay, got it. All right. Because she's the one
she's
that's
an activist.
But at the time when she was 16, this is when she says that old boy Jonah Hill Justin Long was having sex with a 17-year-old, or no, a friend of Jonah Hill's that was living there was having sex with her friend, and Jonah Hill was trying to make out with her, and they were feeding them drinks.
Yes, exactly. To which
not cool, man.
Not cool. I think this just all adds to her side. Because listen, last week we gave them a lot of benefits of doubts, and now I'm just like,
I think we were nice.
Not only we were very nice. We were very in between.
I think we're just asking the question of whether it's like is it kind of weird that she's coming up with it. Now it's the same thing, which is like obviously it's always weird when that happens, but people come out and they're honest when they want to be honest. So
yeah, that was them and Zoe 101. I recommend, and Dan Schneider's a creep. Okay, so I highly recommend everyone go listen to her story. It's very interesting.
Okay, we will do. So Jamie Lynn's no good.
Oh no, she sucks. And actually you can go down a whole rabbit hole with that one too, because she has a book. Oh man, we would have to get into the Britney stuff.
into Brittany
to get into the Jamie stuff. And man, that was a whole whirlwind when it was happening. I don't even have the details. Like, I don't even have all the details. I was just kind of watching from the sidelines.
Okay, this is basically the same thing in this video that you sent me.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, you could skip to like maybe minute 29 or 30.
Okay.
I think that's what it was. 30. Let's go to 30.
And shift, and I could actually like hear it. It was right on the other side. And when I got older, I looked back at that and was like, oh, that's so weird. I don't remember any other creators in every single like wardrobe fitting.
Yeah, there's a reason there's Polaroids taken.
And he
So Dan Schneider would be there at
after they were taken in the room.
So you're in the room and you also need the Polaroids. And I had to wear very, very short skirts to the point where I had to wear biker shorts underneath the skirts, and they had to cut the biker shorts because the biker shorts were longer than the skirts.
That's weird.
That was my everyday. And you know when you cut biker shorts, they start to like roll.
Yeah.
So they were I was always having to like it was so uncomfortable. Like just make biker shorts, like at least sew them on the bottom, so I'm not having to constantly
Dan
pull them
Schneider
down.
is a very well-known foot fetish guy and pedophile because of all the stuff that he did with his cast members. So no, it gets worse.
On Dan Schneider shows where we were having to wear biker shorts underneath that had to be cut because biker shorts were too long.
Yeah, that's not cool.
No, we're talking 12, 13 years old.
Yeah.
And then so, that was a red flag for me. Him touching anyone on set is a red flag to me now, just because it was children.
Thing too, though, that you mentioned about the dollar bills and stuff.
So yeah, so that wasn't even Polaroids, it was like a digital camera, and he would go around with money and ask to take photos of the kids' feet.
I'm sorry. Yes, the kids' feet.
Yes,
the children's feet. Okay.
Yeah, their toes.
Okay.
And I remember thinking it was weird and silly almost as a kid. And I remember
what?
Don't go over there.
I know.
Mom actually said no to it. But I saw other parents allowing their kids to do it.
Okay, so let's talk about being a parent, because now you are a parent.
All right, we can pause it there.
Yeah,
but
it's like
this is just a deep dive into her whole life. But yeah, no, Dan Schneider's like a total creep, which is now looking back at it, it's very weird to watch any Nickelodeon show because he clearly had a really creepy pedo, foot fetish thing going on. And yeah, I feel like Tarantino gets away with it because at least he did it to adults. But Dan Schneider was just, no bueno.
It's funny that you say that because yeah, we give Tarantino shit, but listen.
His defense is it wasn't children.
I would have to fight really hard not to do that, but he wrote. He wrote From Dusk Till Dawn.
That's so creepy. Yeah.
He wrote From Dusk Till Dawn. He didn't direct it, but he wrote it, and then they cast him as the part. And he had a scene where Salma Hayek pours tequila down her leg, and he forces him to drink it by sticking her toes in his face. Yeah, and
there's no defense.
He cast himself in that role. I won't play the music. I wouldn't play the music. Listen, this is out.
No, well, I know it's porn. We all know it.
I was about to say this is peak Salma, but she's been looking good recently, so I don't even know that you can say that.
I don't want to see this. This is porn. This is disgusting. My thing is like, dude, it's so gratuitous. Like I hate when something in a movie is not necessary.
He loves the feet so much.
He loves the feet, yeah. And creepy enough, Dan Schneider does too, but it's just for little kids,
Listen,
very creepy. So anyway, Alexa has been dealing with creeps her whole life in Hollywood, and now she's just being loud about it, and I applaud her.
I applaud her as well. Yeah, definitely. All right. It was just funny that I had that queued up, and then we got into the feet thing, and I was like, "Oh, the feet thing."
You were like, perfect."
Hey, perfect. We got this.
Perfect.
Let's do where's it at? Let's do Charles Barkley. Let's do Charles Barkley. It's all about the gays. All right, let's do this.
It's all about the gays.
Let me mute myself.
Take this. I want y'all to drink this fucking beer. I got 3 cases of Bud Light. Hey, and I want to say this. If you're gay, bless you. If you're transgender, bless you. And if you have a problem with that, fuck you.
We love him. Yes, ally. Yes. You're muted, by the way, but I can see you're speaking.
Chuck putting it out there. He's an ally.
He's an ally. We love him.
All right.
He's invited to the barbecue.
He's invited to the gay barbecue. All right. Would you go on this cruise?
Huh? No, that's scary. Okay. No. That is so weird. That looks like it's going to collapse.
This is the Icon of the Sea, the world's largest cruise ship, labeled a monstrosity ahead of maiden voyage. It is 5 times larger than the Titanic, which is not saying much. The Titanic was pretty big than that. And I just looked at this picture and I was like, it's like 20 decks. There's an amusement park. There's pools. There's shopping areas. Obviously, there's all kinds of shit that's happening.
I have claustrophobia just looking at it. Oh no.
The largest water park at sea. A new test. I don't know what this is. A new test of bravery. 7 pools. Okay. That's a lot of pools. A family neighborhood. Like what's going on here?
Like my thing is this would be appealing if I knew that, but I know they're gonna jam pack it like sardines.
There's a nice stationery.
No, look at that. No.
It's just opulence. Imagine the amount of fucking fuel that's just dumping into the ocean every day. Like it just feels like a monstrosity.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I would just looking at this, it just feels like it would just tip over at any time.
Yeah, it doesn't even. I don't understand it. It defies the laws of physics. Like, how does this exist? And also, is it already in like the works? Like, it already.
It's built. It's ready for its maiden voyage.
So it hasn't gone on its maiden voyage quite yet. So it's
the cheapest ticket is priced at $1,800 for an interior room, which means you don't see the water, on a 7-night cruise for Miami to the Western Caribbean in September of 2024. The most expensive is $10,000 for a suite. So it reeks of like what's that movie with there's like a cruise ship that just looks just like that, and it's like it crashes and it just feels very weird.
That's $257 per night for the cheapest ticket.
Yeah.
Jeez, no. People ask me, how can you afford Europe? Like how? Because I did so much stuff. Because I fucking stay at hostels for like $40 a night, $20 a night. Like that's why. 257? Are you kidding me? Do you know how many trips to Europe I could do?
Well, I mean, yeah, for most people, that's that's usually what it like. Look, the people that are coming into Comic-Con this week are paying at least that much per night.
Why? It's San Diego. It's not that special.
I mean,
that's crazy.
We're here all the time, but
that's true. It is a beautiful place.
All right.
Insane though.
I
just wanted to ask you before we move on. I wanted to ask, would you do it and what price?
No, absolutely not. There's no price. There's no price. I wouldn't do that.
What if it was free? For free?
Doesn't matter. That doesn't appeal. It doesn't appeal to me to be out in the ocean on a giant fucking like earth-killing behemoth. It's like it feels icky. It feels crude.
Yeah.
I mean, but there's a very specific type of people that love those cruises. And I think it's more if you have a family, maybe if you have kids, you're just looking at something to do.
It is because it gets you from point A to point B without having to take a plane,
Yeah. But I think it's more just about being on the ship. Like the things that appeal to me about a cruise are the gambling, because they have like poker rooms and casinos, and getting out there and being out in the middle of nowhere, I guess. But the cruise ship industry is so weird, and it feels wrong. It feels wrong that they made something so humongous such a monstrosity. I don't know. It'd be interesting. I know Lizzie takes cruises with her family. I think it's different if you have a family and you need stuff to do like that. Like it feels like I think that if that was just parked somewhere,
Yeah.
Like if it was
You would
just
go on happily.
Big
Yeah.
Harbor and it had pools and restaurants and gambling, you know what I mean? Or it was just technically far enough away from land that it was like, we're in international waters, you can do stuff like that, and you just like took like a speedboat there, I would be down for that. But I don't want to go across the world in that thing. If it were just a destination, like it's a boat hotel and you just hang out there and eat and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, it's very much like a fancy resort. Like, you know, there's some travelers that are resort travelers. You know,
the fact that it's such a monstrosity and then it's killing the earth and it's defying the laws of nature, it's kind of a weird part of it.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, let's see what we have going on. All right, so let's check in on SAG. Basically, I posted a picture that they trimmed all the trees in front of one of the studios for the things. Some more news came out about like the differences in the SAG offers versus the thing. A lot of it seems pretty simple, but it just sort of gives off like this thing. There's also been a list of rules added that for members, no premieres, award shows, social media promo, FYC events, and more.
Wow.
You can't do any acting, singing, dancing, performance stunts, principal camera, narration, singing, voice acting, TV trailers. No background work, no stand-in work, no photo and or body doubles, no interviews and auditions, promotion, contract tours, intros, conventions, fan expos. That affects us directly here. Award show, junkets, podcast appearance, social media, studio showcase. Podcast appearances affected us directly this week because and we have the video live on Mi Gente Show and on the 2M Burrito YouTube. So the video is out there for anybody if they want to watch it. But we had Chris Estrada from This Fool, Hulu show, on literally like 4 or 5 months ago. It was before the San Diego Latino Film Festival, and we did a live stream with him during the day. It was like early in the day, so not a lot of people watched it live, but the video's up there. And we talked about him as a comedian, him as a writer director, and about This Fool season 2. In my brilliance, because we were about to start the film festival and we were going to be like busy, I was like, okay, we did the live show, the interview is out there, I'm going to save the audio and not release it right away. I'm going to wait till right before season 2 drops.
Yeah, next season's coming out. I can wait.
So that, and at that point, season 2, the release dates weren't even official because he's like sometime in July or August, right? Turns out it's July 22nd, I think. And I was like, cool, I'm just going to wait till a week or two before then. And that's when I'll release the audio only version of the episode. And that way people can watch it and hear it right before. And all of a sudden we have a strike. So I had the episode scheduled to release yesterday. And Sunday night I was doing a podcast and we were talking about the strike, and my mind went into a panic because I was like, oh, fuck. If I release this episode tomorrow, does that count as a podcast appearance? In the intro, I said we recorded this several months back, but I didn't know if that was enough. So I hit up Chris Estrada directly on Sunday night. I showed you the text and basically asked him how he felt about it. And, you know, if that's the same thing that it says here. I don't think we would have gotten in any issues with sharing it, especially because it was an interview that happened several months back. But he couldn't share it, he couldn't promote it and stuff like that, and I just made sure that I have the interest. So we will release the episode, but it's just very funny that that specifically is like
happened
and I don't know, as a pre WGA, as not, you know, you're not SAG, you know, etc. We technically can. Because, like, for example, Blue Beetle, like the actors and stuff from Blue Beetle can't go do promos, but that has led to a lot of like fan promotions, fan campaigns. There's a lot of stuff that people are doing to promote these shows that are fans. Because even though Hulu and those streaming services are part of who the actors are striking against, nothing from the unions has said that they want people to stop watching TV shows. SAG wants people to go watch Barbie and Oppenheimer, right? They want people to watch Blue Beetle. We want people to watch Blue Beetle. We want people to watch This Fool. It's not about like crippling the industry. It's about getting fair payment for some of these actors and these writers. So I think we are in the clear in terms of being able to promote it and telling people to watch these movies, watch these things, because we're not affiliated with the union. I mean, we want to be union members at some point, right? Obviously. And we're not trying to do work for them. But the fact is we have an interview with the show and it's starting, and it would be silly of us not to put it out there, especially if it happened months ago. Now, if we were recording it yesterday, yeah, I understand we're not supposed to do podcasts. But at that point, we didn't even know there was going to be a strike. So it's very interesting. I have seen some actors going out there, and have you what is your pulse, as an actress? What have you been hearing? What's hot on the streets regarding this?
Oh man, I feel like for the most part everyone is supportive of the WGA strikes. What has surprised me is like people that aren't in the industry that are kind of like, why are they doing this? When are they going to give up? Or like just I had a friend be like, oh, my friend was personally affected by this and all this stuff. And I do get a little sad
like
because
a side industry, you mean? Like industry that's
no, like they were a writer somewhere. I don't know. I didn't get the whole story.
This is affecting writers, actors. It's affecting
everyone. Yeah. And so my thing is, I'm like, that's the point of the strike is they're fighting and they have to do this to get fair pay, like to get a fair deal. So I'm like, this is just kind of like the hard part. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people that can be a little selfish in that.
Yeah, Rosa. Yeah, that's what eventually. But I reached out to Chris directly, and I was like, and I'm gonna re-record the intro so that it's very clear that we recorded ahead of time, and it wasn't like that. And I understand him not being able to share it because he does talk about the show and promotes it and stuff like that. But yeah,
bummer. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And also, SAG updated the guidelines that apply to influencers, critics, and journalists. For minutes, I thought I had to pause my review. Yeah, that's also a thing because I had also booked, and I talked about it on the show, a couple of interviews with some like big time actors that happen to be SAG that are part of the Academy now, and I have to postpone those interviews because they can't do promotional work right now, even though we might not talk about. Even though we might talk more about their career and stuff like that, I still think that they're probably not gonna,
want to make appearances at all. Yeah.
Yeah. My question is, I would love because I follow and I'm in touch with a lot of SAG actors and WGA writers and stuff like that. I'd love to have them come on and talk about the strike itself. So I think that is allowed, right?
I feel like that'd be awesome. Yeah.
There's like Fran Drescher's out there and all these other people are there talking about what's happening. So we're not going to be promoting if we're not promoting the show or doing stuff like that. I believe it's okay. Now. In our world, it gets a little interesting because, for example, FX Alien TV series will reportedly film without SAG members. What SAG has said is that if you're a scab, if you work in some of these things, they've been pretty point blank about the fact that if you do some of this work, you're not going to be allowed to join the union. I've seen San Diego actors posting about auditions and this and that and looking for agents and doing all this stuff. If it's stuck work, if it's industry work and you're scabbing, don't, because you're not going to be allowed to join. It's not worth the short time game, is not worth the long time game. Yeah. Because you will not unions do not forget.
No.
So the outlet points out the series is currently in pre-production in Thailand, and the cast of the series is comprised of of SAG-AFTRA and equity members, including potentially 2 lead stars. So this is the thing. Now you can do indie films, you can do student films, you can do commercial work. There's a bunch of stuff that you can still out there. So go out there and do an indie. Mark Ruffalo said, why don't you people start doing indie films and stuff like that? So it'll be pretty interesting to see how that goes.
Oh man. Yeah. How'd you feel when you saw the Fran Drescher appearance?
I liked it.
The announcement.
Listen, man, I liked it. I'm a union guy, so I enjoyed it. I think that her leadership was being questioned a few months back because she was a little ambivalent. She was a little wishy-washy. We want to do the thing and the blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden now it's like she's about it. She's putting herself out there and she's leading. Look, and then when all that thing about the background actors came out, San Diego actors freaked the fuck out. That's all the work they get.
Yeah, that's literally all we get. Like, what?
San Diego actors are like, what? Background work doesn't get what? Yeah, except for the 6 San Diego SAG actors, everybody else was freaking out about background work.
6, that's so true.
It's unfortunate.
It's
Anyway.
sad but true.
Sad but true. So don't do. And then if you get, and if somebody makes you an offer to be a scab, or tries to offer you work, the correct answer is I would love to. As soon as the strike is over, I would love to take this opportunity, but not right now. So stay strong, people. And then I posted a thing that was, and I'm pretty much sure that I think this is true, but in Universal they trimmed all the trees outside that you could picket in the shade. So these are the tree lines right next to the studio, and they trimmed all them fucking trees.
No way.
And
Universal Studios?
At not at Universal Studios, but at Universal, where they're striking in Universal. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
so I don't know if these were scheduled for a trim, but they may be killed healthy trees.
That's a lot of trimming for.
They basically killed a bunch of trees in order to try to fuck the union.
Dude. And it's also like one of the last good unions standing. So like, can't stand corruption.
Another interesting element of this is very clearly being able to see whose side everything is on. For example, I saw these interviews live. So basically, Matt Damon did an interview at the Oppenheimer premiere, and the Deadline Hollywood thing says Matt Damon at Oppenheimer premiere says the Hollywood labor strike will be brutal for actors in his own production company, which has shut down one of his company's film. That's the quote that they use. Kenneth bragging on the Hollywood labor strikes. I hope, as everyone does, that it resolves itself quickly. Meanwhile, what the full context of what Damon said was, we got to hold strong until we get a deal that's fair. If our members are telling us that it's not a good deal, then we have to hold strong. This is the difference between healthcare or not for a lot of our members.
Exactly.
So he said the full thing, boom, and then they cut it down to this. And for Branagh, he said, "I'm in solidarity." The first thing he says is, "I'm in solidarity with SAG," and then they don't really mention that. So. Just like we had that story a few weeks back about the actor who pulled the story, an editor that pulled a story that actually had a deal with a production company. It's very interesting to say, look, man,
propaganda.
The studios have been looking bad. First, they said they were trying to star people out, that the end game was people going homeless and offering them less. This late stage capitalism shit is hot, but
what studio said that, by the way? Because that was freaking insane.
No, apparently, what I've seen is that it's an unnamed source, but apparently the studio heads had a Zoom call and they were like, "Should we say this horrible thing?" And some people said yes, and some people said no, and apparently the yes won.
Oh.
Right. So yeah. So that's.
So they said the horrible thing. Oh,
so they said the horrible thing out loud. Listen. All right. Listen. What clip is this? Hold on a second. All right. I did an appearance on the 323 with Reed, a friend of ours, a friend of mine that does a podcast, but he did the TV show, and these were my thoughts as I recorded this yesterday. That we know about. Only 2% of actors are like celebrities, big money, mansions. The other 9% of actors are hardworking actors. They're going from set to set every day doing background work. They'll get a commercial, and then 6 months later, they'll get a starring role. It's hard to be an actor. Only the tippity top percent really are the ones that you think about. No, most of them are hardworking fucking people. So I hope that it ends well with a better deal for the writers, because I want to be in the Writers Guild. I want to be in the Directors Guild somewhere. I'm going to be keeping making movies for the rest of my life, but it's an unfair system, and people need to, support the union, support actors, support writers, and tell these greedy CEOs to go fuck themselves. That we know about. Only 2.
You're muted.
Sorry, that was my hot take on this show.
No, that's good. Speaking up for the little guy, that's freaking true. Speak the truth.
All right, and then the other thing, I guess, is give me a second. Where is this? If you would like to support, the unions in the strike, one of the things that's been documented is the snack list which is an easy way to make donations for things that are going to help support striking actors and writers by the Democratic Socialists of America in Los Angeles. So I put the link to that in the stream, and you can donate a couple of bucks so that they can buy snacks, food, and help out. Yeah, and that is true. According to Jessica Chastain, 87% of SAG members make less than 26K. Yeah, you have to make 26K a year to qualify for healthcare, and like 80-90% don't do that. Don't make that much money. So
that's so messed up.
As it is said, society works when old men plant trees. They will never be able to sit under their shade, right? So
yeah,
we have to keep doing stuff like that for that. Oppenheimer Barbie opening this weekend. If you Barbenheimer, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot. I can't wait to see it.
I dressed in pink because
Are you Barbieing up?
Yes.
All right.
It's all the pink I had.
All right. File this one under. So you're saying there's a chance?
Oh no! Stop it! I mean, I'll take either.
So you're saying there's a chance, Sophia? We need to bust out the old school move where me and you go to the mall and we try to break up happy couples.
Well, it seems like we don't have to do much here.
Sophia Vergara and Joe Manganiello announced plans to divorce. That's all I needed to see. So
gosh.
Hey,
I knew they wouldn't work out when I found out that he has a whole basement dedicated to playing D&D, and
he's a big nerd. He's a
big nerd, and she's not. And I was like, Joe Manganiello. I know I'm gay as hell most of the time, but like, come to me. I need a nerd. I love a nerd. He's a good looking nerd.
You fumbled the bag. You fumbled the bag there, Joe.
A good looking nerd. No, come on.
And she's an icon, man. Like, fuck,
I mean, she is, but come on.
Yeah.
They're both hot. They both will be fine.
They'll be fine. I was saying.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
The chance is not zero.
Well, I'm not gonna kill your dream, but yes, we don't stand a fucking chance in hell.
But it's not zero, Sophia.
But it's not zero. It's not zero.
It's 100% not zero.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, listen. Okay. This is something that happened. Let me know what your feelings are here. All right. This girl at the airport waits until the queue moves all the way forward to move. People confronted her and she said, it's the same if I move now or if I move later. So you're going to go on vacation. You're traveling. You're making the little airport line here. And this woman leaves all this space in front of her. Now there's still 5 or 6 people ahead of her. So even if she does move, would you rather move a little bit of a time? Or would you just rather wait and move all at once?
I think if you're letting a space of like 2 people in front of you, that's too much. That's too much. Because people can go and sneak in. Like, she just has too many bags. Like, just move them. That's a huge space. I'll be lenient towards maybe a 2-person space. But something that happens when you're stuck in those long lines after travel is you want to move. I'll take a little scooch. I just need to see movement.
So you think that's massaging your mental health, a little movement, a little bit of time, and getting closer.
100%. It makes me feel so good.
It makes no difference, though. You're not going to
look at how much space is in front of her. That is
so you're saying So you're saying the social norms are forcing you to think about it this way, and it would affect you that way, right?
I'm saying that I understand she has a lot of bags and she might want to stay stagnant, but that's too much space. Absolutely not. Like, I'm going to cut you at that point because you clearly don't want to move. So I'm cutting you.
I
would throw hands with her.
At first I was like, okay, I get it, but I would be like, listen, it doesn't really make a difference. You're not
logically, she has a great argument. My thing is, if you're not moving, I will then cut you. Okay, yeah. I'm tired. I've traveled for 24 hours before. I need you to fucking move. I need you to come on.
Like, people are saying, just go around her.
Yeah, literally go around her because that's disrespectful. That's not cool.
There's a comment. There's a comment here that hit me kind of hard because I was sort of on her side, and then I saw this comment here and says, resisting social norms is a power play for narcissists. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Because I'm saying she has a good argument, but the social norm and also just honestly what you need in the moment is to fucking feel like you're moving. Think about when you've been stuck in a line, any line ever. You just, that little step makes a huge difference.
It does make a difference, but
Morally.
also like, but also if you can get past that part, it's like, you know what? Honestly, if I was like, do I want to move a little bit? Because also, when you move all at once and you have a bunch of bags, it's like, all right, boom, 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 boom. Yeah. It's an old bit, and then you're like, boom, boom, back down.
So that's another thing. I've been there with the big heavy bags, and I get it. So that's why I would personally, if I was right behind her, give her some leeway. Maybe like a 2-person.
Yeah.
Maybe even a 3-person area. But that space is like, I would cut you at that point because you're just not. That's a whole line. It's a whole line in front of her. It's a whole line and a turn.
I would it's a lap.
It's a line and a turn.
It's almost a full lap there. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm like, if you're letting a lap go by, other people can cut. So then I'm just gonna beat them to it. You know what I mean?
All good.
Ethics. Just yeah.
All right. Anyway, Bonzo, thanks for stopping by. Sorry this is late, but I had to step away. Why the foot fetish hate for legal adults? They need us. Oh
no. No hate. Listen, we're not here to yuck anyone's yum. Okay.
No, I had brought that up as a palate cleanser, but the reason we were talking about it was because the dude was doing it, like taking pictures of kids' toes, which was
good. Also, what I will give a lot of hate to, it's not any type of fetish or any like stuff like that when it's consensual and it's between adults. However, when there is a fetish that you know you are sexually into and you are the writer who is causing it to occur on set, it's gratuitous and it's disgusting. So I'm sorry. Like, you know, like if I was Salma looking back and being like, wow, they wrote me to do that. That was so unnecessary to the plot just because he was, I don't know if he was hard under there. Like I would feel very uncomfortable and violated. Not gonna lie.
Is there, as I play devil's advocate, is there any leeway to it always 100% being for self-gratification? If you're writing your first film that you're going to star in and it's about your life and it explores sexuality, you would, depending on the type of movie you see in your head, you might have to, you know, be in sex scenes or making out with actresses and actors and stuff like that, right? It's a great script, it's a great story, it's a story that needs to be told, but you're the one writing it and you want to star in it. Are you only writing the story because of that reason? Like from a psychological standpoint, what comes first? Your desire to write the story and tell about your story, and then you realize I can use this as an opportunity to put myself in a situation where I get to suck on feet and make out with hot actresses.
Right. Yeah.
Or does I want to put myself in a situation where I can suck feet and make out with hot actresses cause you to write the story?
I think, I don't know. I think that listen, I think that in this case scenario, if you watch the movie, there's no need for that scene. It doesn't change. It doesn't change the plot.
Not in general.
Well,
you're writing a movie about your life. You're writing a movie about your life.
I know, but by that logic is like, which comes first? Okay, the writing of the sex scene and then you inserting yourself, or I would hope that it's not that one. I would hope that you always add something that is going to add to the plot, or, you know, at the very least is relevant to the storyline. So if he's making a foot fetish video, like a foot fetish movie, a movie about a foot model.
Sophia, you're ignoring the question.
Wait, rephrase it. What's the question?
You, Sophia Carrillo, are writing a story about your life.
Yes,
that
sir.
You have also decided I want to star in because I'm also an actress.
Gotcha.
Got it? It's going to involve scenes about you exploring your sexuality, men and women, and you want it to have some sort of sex scenes in it, right? Now, you are obviously a writer. You're an actress, right? Did you decide to write the movie? Now, let's say you put yourself in that situation. Like, what I'm asking for is does the fact that you have a foot fetish override every other aspect of your life, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, for you in the movie that you're writing about yourself, does the fact when you write the movie and you decide to be in it, at that point, does your brain say, hey, this is a great opportunity for me to put myself in a situation?
My brain, no, it doesn't. That's creepy.
Or that's what I'm asking. That's the reason that I'm asking.
Yeah.
Or does the fact that you want to put yourself in the situation cause you to write the movie?
I don't know that I would write a movie to put myself in any situation. I think I would want the movie to be caused based on whatever the story is, if that makes sense. And if I'm going to be the actor in it, I still wouldn't. So what you're saying is like you're comparing at this point now you're comparing like a general sexuality to a fetish. So if I'm making love to a woman in a film, I think that's very different than me having, I don't know, an ear fetish or I don't know, something more specific that has nothing to do with maybe the character's coming out story.
Okay.
If that makes sense. And then I insert a scene of me sucking in someone's ear. It's not necessary. Do you understand? Like one is me having a coming out process of like exploration with like just gender. The other one is me finding out how I like ear sucking. Do you see how they're different? Like they can this question has never been asked for a male female sex scene. I'm not sitting here saying that if a male and a female have a sex scene, it's inappropriate. I'm sitting here that putting a foot in your mouth when it's not relevant to the plot is stupid.
No, I understand that, and like I said, I was playing devil's advocate. What I was trying to get at is, are fetishes so deep ingrained and so important to us from a psychological standpoint, like like from a theoretical and like standpoint, that it could cause somebody to pursue a career in screenwriting and filmmaking, that they can put themselves in those situations.
Absolutely. Yes. And to make it even worse,
you get what I'm saying now?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I also think that priests become priests if they want to be, because it's an easy way to be a pedophile, like you could, if you want to diddle kids, you could also be a kinder teacher. Like there's ways that these sick fucks can put themselves in a career path to do things. And that's where the power dynamic and inappropriateness comes in for me.
Got it. So if you're the Dan Schneider guy and you put yourself
and you're
you write the show so that you can have preteen girls taking pictures and you produce it so that you can take pictures of their feet.
Yeah, and he has so many, like even on the show, there's like literal clips on YouTube that'll be like every time Dan Schneider showed kids' feet on like, and it's so like it's gratuitous. There's no point. There's no funny like gag to it. It's uncomfortable.
Got it. All right, that's interesting. As a creative, as a filmmaker and stuff like that, you always sort of try to listen. You try to be honest with yourself and look at what you do and stuff like that and see where it's coming from, right?
I feel that, yeah, because you also don't want to be the person that's like unknowingly doing, I think that's why intimacy coordinators. Yes, not Sofia Tarantino. Thank you. Very different people, man. Very different.
They're two different people. Anyway, it's just. Listen, listen. We asked the questions, right?
We're the gray area people. We ask the questions.
Yeah.
But anyway, you get why it's creepy, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's keep knocking stuff out.
That being said, way back to Bonzo though.
Yes.
But fetishes in general, not creepy. We don't yug people's yum. Good. That's good.
Yeah.
So the fetish itself, all good. Power dynamics that play, not good.
Yeah. I like even foot massages. What?
Who said that? What?
I got my technique down. I don't be tickling or nothing. Come on. Man, if you look back
promo for OnlyFans.
No, man, I guess which was Pulp Fiction, also directed by Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, he's been talking about feet.
Also has feet.
Yeah, so many feet in that movie. That's the originator. But there's actually a conversation where they're talking about foot rubs, and he says, I'm giving 1,000 women 1,000 foot rubs, and they all meant something. And then he's like, I got my technique down. I don't be tickling. Of course, I know how.
I will say, I think that's a very interesting conversation. Would you let someone give your girl a foot rub? Absolutely not.
No.
Right?
That's not a good. No. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That's
intimate.
I don't care if that's. Yeah. Absolutely not. No.
Yeah. That was a great conversation. That was good writing.
Exactly, but was it because he loved feet so much he became an icon?
Fucking head, yeah. No, at that point, well, I don't think that's why Pulp Fiction was amazing.
No, obviously not. But I'm saying, if Tarantino had this foot fetish from who knows when, that could have been a driving force to him becoming famous because his mind was driving it from the back. He's like, we gotta get famous so we can talk about feet.
Yeah.
And so we can write a movie
and normalize
where Salma Hayek sticks her foot in my mouth. Like,
dude, honestly, if that was the end game, then fuck.
It could have just been his subconscious, though. It could have just been his subconscious. Something could have been driving him this whole time, and he never knew about it. And it was his love of feet.
Dude, this is a conspiracy level. Like, we should make this a video, like a YouTube clip, where we just talk about the conspiracy of Quentin Tarantino starting his career because of his foot fetish.
All right.
Reading his mind.
Here's a good question for the crowd. Are ice cream dates considered terrible? Okay. So this is another thing here. So this is a tweet that somebody posted, and they put this, basically they had matched with somebody on a dating site, and this is the conversation they had. Hi, this is Vance. Hi, hope you had a good day. I'm excited for tomorrow. I can pick you up if you're not comfortable with that. We can just meet there. Standard first date spot. I don't know why, but I'm feeling like getting some ice cream in this hot weather. Sorry, LOL. And then she says, sorry if this may come off as rude, but I don't do ice cream dates. I'm a 26-year-old woman, and a date like that seems like absolute bare minimum for me. Meeting up would be a waste of both our times since we probably don't have the same vibe. Best wishes.
Oh my god.
So ice cream date's not a good idea?
Are you kidding me? No. That girl is vapid as hell. Dude, if you care that deep.
In the summertime too.
In the summertime. Also, like, people doing Starbucks dates. Like, it doesn't matter if you want to get to know the person. Like, it matters the person that you're there with. But you're really going to be like, I'm not going to do ice cream. I'm 26 years old. And that is not what I'm. Shut up. Okay.
26? Come on. 90-year-olds love ice cream. Who doesn't love ice cream?
It's not ice cream. It's an expectation that she wants to meet cute. And she doesn't think that ice cream is at her standards.
There's no such thing as meet cutes on Tinder.
There really isn't. I'm like, you're already telling your grandkids you met on Tinder. Might as well go to a freaking ice cream shop and figure it out.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know people that schedule back-to-back dates at Starbucks. Literally, like.
That's too much caffeine, man.
I know, right? I don't know why. I know someone who did that with 3 guys, like back to back to back, and I was like, wow, the stamina.
Okay. More late stage capitalism. It might be time for a general strike. This is something that was posted apparently at a workplace. Effective immediately, all staff must leave their cell phones on and make themselves available when you're not on shift. Consider yourself on call. You must answer calls from Gary. Fuck Gary. And if you're asked to cover a shift, you must do so without complaints. This is not optional. We all need to work together to help this company succeed. Let's get some record profits this quarter. Go team.
What the fuck? This is not real. There's no way. Where is this from? Oh my gosh.
Let's set some record profits this quarter is kind of the would be the fucking, because it's just that's the whole end game right there. That's like, we only care about profits.
We don't care about your mental health or health in general. I hate capitalism.
So fun, isn't it?
It's so fun. It's so fun. Does anyone in Sweden want to marry me? Just if you're Swedish, please. Scandinavia, any Scandinavian, and you want a little Mexican, just a little sprinkle of tahini right there. I'll move to your country happily. Ain't no ring on this finger. Come on, Sweden.
Just like we have our misogynistic moment of the day, we have our Sophia begs a European to marry her segment.
Oh my god, I do! It's my thing.
Every episode, it's Sophia desperately asks somebody from a socialized nation.
So much I hate this country, but you know what? No, actually, someone like agreed. One of my friends from the kickball team. I was just like, because she's turns out she is both British and Irish, and I was like, will you marry me? And she was like, yes, and I was like, great. So it's happening. Yeah, I did it. I'm Irish now.
A bit of the Irish.
A bit of the Irish, yes.
I'm also looking for another thing here that somebody posted about a restaurant where they gave out a piece of paper that you had to sign, and it was basically saying tips are earned, not mandatory, and basically saying that you had to write down anything that has to. Basically, you have to sign this sheet that says, if I'm late more than 50 minutes, I don't get tips for that day. If I get written up during a shift, I forfeit tips for that day. If I don't give 2 weeks notice of quitting, your tips from your last checks you're going to get that.
Oh, this is from the employer.
This is from the employer, and you had to sign this. Oh, okay. I'm trying to find it because I definitely saw it was.
I mean, the answer is absolutely not.
Yeah. I don't know if I found it. Yeah. Anyway, so I just kind of thought that was a super interesting thing. Like, we're being chiseled to death by employers everywhere.
We really are. Oh my gosh.
We need more unions.
And then and then actors don't make shit. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to corporate world. It's so sad.
Yeah, I mean, it's the hustle. All right, this is one of the last things. This is from previously in terms of when we're talking to the SAG. Lena Hall says all the series regulars for Snowpiercer had to do a full body scan and full range of emotion capture without telling them why. So they've been trying to do this because I had forgot this. There's a lot of stuff and a lot of stories that are coming out. So do your homework on those and look it up, because a lot of people are like that you thought would be like on popular shows from 2-3 years ago. They got absolutely fucked. They get like a 9-cent residual. They get like the team from Orange is the New Black specifically. They were like, Netflix was telling you like this is Orange is the New Black was the first
big
Netflix hit, right?
Yeah.
And it really blew up Netflix. And a lot of the cast members on the show could not afford to take a cab to set, and they had side jobs while they were filming, so they weren't making any money, and they never got any residuals or any bonuses and shit like that. So
hell no.
Yeah, and then people are making shows. They make movies. They get put on Disney, and you're going to get a residual based on views. Disney puts it up for 2 months and then takes it down, meaning you're completely shut off from revenue. So, it's the shit's got to change.
A lot of things have to change.
All right. How familiar are you with the Adam 22 and Lena the Plug cuckolding?
I feel like that rings a bell. Lena the Plug rings a bell. Was she a YouTuber?
She's a porn star, so close enough.
But did she start out as a YouTuber? Yes.
She might. So basically, there's this guy on Twitter. He goes by Adam22.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a porn star. He's done.
Oh yeah, I do know her. Yeah.
So anyway, he's married to Lena the Plug, and essentially, she had been out of the business for a while, and then she decided to go do her first interracial scene. And this is the dude that did it. And basically, she had been with Adam for a while. It was this dude, Adam 22, right?
That I wanted to get you.
So basically, the scene comes out and people are freaking out. And then all of a sudden, they're doing all these interviews where he's going on her show and he's talking about how, she had permission to go fuck him and this and that, but he stretched her out and all this other stuff. And she was talking about how she was basically saying like, oh, it took me a while to adjust back to Adam's dick and stuff like that.
Shut up, no.
And then this dude was doing interviews all over the place, talking about like going live, talking about how he, like, oh, was the ending planned? And she's like, no, it just happened and this and that. Anyway,
what was the ending? I was terrified to ask.
Yeah, I don't want to say it. So basically,
wait, no, what was the ending?
No, it was a he didn't pull out.
Oh, okay. No, I was imagining something worse.
No.
I was thinking something ripped. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So so he goes on there, and then this is like the worst fake video I've ever seen. Okay, here he goes.
Okay, Lena, I'm so proud of you doing your first ever BBC scene that I decided that I wanted to get you a little something nice. Open your eyes.
What? This? For me? Oh my god! Babe! I really need to keep this?
This is for you. Anything
that was the worst acting I've ever seen in my entire life.
That is the worst acting performance I've ever seen in my entire life. Like
what? This?
Number one, okay, as a director, I'm going to give her some notes here. When she opens up her eyes, she only looks at it for a second.
A second, yeah.
Yeah, and
well, let's not stop directing.
You know what I'm saying, like that. So I'm gonna do a second take, and I'm gonna be like, when you open your eyes, look at the car a little bit longer, hold it there, take it all in, and then react.
Yeah.
What for me?
For me?
For me?
She doesn't have an accent, by the way. I think she's just American.
Lana. I don't even think
well, I think that they're just clout goblins, like honestly.
You're right.
Which is fine. I mean, they're making a lot of money.
Yeah, no, it's like cuck for pay.
Yeah.
Something like that, right? Because
I don't think he cares. I don't even believe this relationship is real.
Okay.
Here's the thing. From what I hear, because maybe I'm too jaded. I've watched too many YouTubers do too many things and mix together too much just for clout that I'm like, yeah, Lena was always there for clout. I'm sure Nick is the same type of guy, and I'm sure that they're together.
Yeah. And then the No Jumper podcast. This is a video that happened a while ago. These guys get into a fight, and he like turns into like his Caucasian self really fast because he's like this tatted up dude, and you know he does porn and he does the No Jumper podcast. And look at him while they're fighting. He's like,
he's like, no, guys, stop.
Oh my God, no, you guys. So he does the No Jumper podcast. He's had a couple of interesting interviews.
I don't know anything about Nick, so like I'm just assuming.
Yeah. It's just.
But I did used to watch Lena, so.
Yeah.
I'm remembering now. Yeah, she used to be a YouTuber, like a big YouTuber.
Okay, I guess
I don't know where she went. I just don't. She hasn't posted in a while.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's like cuck for play or if it's for whatever it is, but they're doing it right now on the internet. And then this is more proof that it's clout chasing here. Where is it?
Mm-hmm.
Where's this video? Sorry, this one. Okay, he dropped this one from his own account.
Peace and love. I trusted you to pork my wife. And it seems like that clout is getting to your head. You're talking real spicy, and I ain't really feeling it. Number one, the angle of the dangle is more important than the cubic of the pubic. That's number one. Number two, my D game, when I'm serving it, man, it's just like your mom's home cooking because there's a special ingredient. It's called love.
See, this isn't real. This isn't.
Number three, don't make me expose you.
Absolutely not. There is nothing serious about any of this exchange. This is like Trisha Paytas. Oh, like the brothers that were making out there. Sorry, there was a video of the two incest brothers that made out. Yeah, a lot of people doing a lot of stuff for clout right now. Okay, it pays. And we're the dumbasses because we don't do it. We need to do it. Why can't we start doing something like that? Unmute yourself, sir.
Oh my God.
We're reacting to their bullshit and they're making bank.
Yeah, we should be on TikTok going gang gang, hot dog good.
Gang gang, hot dog good. Yum, hot dog yum. Ice cream. Ooh. Can we please do it? I want to be a sellout. I want to be a grifter. I want to just be a clout goblin.
Man. We should.
Why don't we?
I mean, as a social experiment, I would really like to do just a right wing theme clip, just to see if anybody just like right wing, like Republican loot, like real quick, and just be like,
oh, 100%. We should go full Republican. We would.
We would clean up.
Hell yeah.
It would be like Pearly Things meets. You should go full. You should be the bi anti-feminist, the bi non-feminist.
Yeah, there. I don't think they have one.
I'm bi and I'm against gay rights. Like what?
Yeah.
What? Gay people shouldn't have the right to vote. What?
Next Pride is going to be very awkward if I do that.
Yeah, no.
I'll do it.
That's like, what's the Lena Dunham where she was like,
women shouldn't vote.
Was it Lena Dunham that put out that stupid SC where she's like, when I die, carry him around Pride and talk about what a great ally I was. I was like, what? Shut the fuck up.
I love it. Oh, man. Are we ready for the anonymous ones? Or we have?
Yes, I believe we have one new question.
All right. Cool.
Let me make sure. All right, I have one more palate cleanser and then we'll get on with it. All right. This is a video of Tom Holland, who I agreed to have gay sex with for Pride Month.
Oh, you did? Yes, with him.
I really do not like Hollywood. It is not for me. The business really scares me. I understand that I'm a part of that business and I enjoy my kind of interactions with it. But that said, I am always looking for ways to kind of remove myself from it, to kind of just live as normal a life as possible. Today, doing this is a very rare thing for me to do. Yeah, I definitely think it has been an ongoing thought, which is don't lose yourself. I've seen so many people come before me and lose themselves, and I've had friends that I've grown up with that aren't friends of mine anymore because they've lost themselves to this business. And I just am really, really keen to focus on what makes me happy, which is my family, it's my friends, it's my carpentry, my golf, the charity that my mum runs. Like, that is the stuff that makes me really happy, and that's the stuff that I should protect. My relationship is the thing that I keep most sacred. I don't talk about it. I try my best to keep it as private as possible. We both feel very strongly that that is the healthiest way for us to move on as a couple. So I do try to keep as removed from it as possible. Like, you'll never see me at an award show that I don't have to be at. I'm never going to a red carpet event that I'm not in the film of, you know? I don't want the attention when I don't need it.
Yes, I saw that. I love that. I think
Is he like most evolved actor?
No, there's plenty of actors that have said the same thing before him. And I think if we're gonna go back to like how we were fucking around earlier about like why don't we do that and stuff like that, the culture in Hollywood is very, very like high schooly and very like cliquey, and it's easy, and also very drug and party driven, and it's easy to lose yourself in all of that, especially once you become famous and all of that. So I feel like he's doing it right, but it's very hard and few and far between actors that can stick to that, especially the bigger that you get. You know, the bigger your circle gets, the more premieres you get pulled into, the more all of that. So good for him. And I'm very happy that I can see some, you know, like him and Zendaya making healthy choices and somehow still having a career within Hollywood. That being said, it's also a privileged thing to say, right? Because in order to say that there's this monster that you need to stay away from because it's unhealthy, which is Hollywood, you have to have broken into it first.
Sure.
You know, so it is a little bit of like props to you, kudos. And I want to be you because I want to have broken in and ignored everyone as well. I want to be able to say, I didn't want to go there because I'm being healthy. You know?
Yeah. It's definitely like
he's settled. He's making bank. He's a well-known name. His career's set. So I'm like, good for you, kid.
I guess he's a well-adjusted
adult, honestly.
Well-adjusted person who is very privileged.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like half happy, half like, well, good for you that you could say that, because I'm like, it comes, you know.
Must be nice. Must be
nice. Like, I'm like, we're healthy at the bottom, you're healthy at the top, and healthy is good. But there's people that are like Lena, like Nick, you know, like unhealthy and clearly very, I don't know. But they're also making bank and doing, you know, what they got to do. So honestly, no judgment on anyone. Everyone's gonna do what they got to do, whatever.
Yeah.
But very happy to see a, like, you know, well-established, big name, also healthy actor.
Yeah. Meanwhile, The Idol was so bad that it might kill season 3 of Zendaya's show. So, you know,
Idol.
The Sam Levinson show with The Weeknd, and yeah, it's really, really bad. It was really, really bad. So, and Sam
Zendaya will be fine. She'll be fine. She'll be fine.
All right.
She's an icon. She's a one-name icon at this point. She's like Beyonce.
Yeah, she's definitely there. All right. And then the last thing that I had here is I want to do one shout out to Barrio Drive. We talked about some of their Pride Month stuff here.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I keep just saving their website, and they always have such like cool stuff. Like community stuff and these La Mero Mero.
Love the backpack.
Amor Sagrado. This is the Amor Sagrado shirt with the homies. Yeah, it's real cool stuff. So shout out Barrio Drive. I don't know why I keep having it there, but let's support interesting companies. All right.
That's awesome.
So we had when we had the Kenneth show with Rosa and Polly stopping by, we did talk a little bit about the Sound of Freedom movie. I just wanted to just because I still want to watch the movie, but have you been up on any of the sort of conversation around it at all?
No, I was sent something, but I didn't have time to watch it. No, what's going on there?
Right. So basically, this was a thread because basically, what it is, I think, is that it's a. I've been really trying to analyze it because anytime there's controversy about a movie before it comes out or stuff like that, I always want to watch it myself as a filmmaker to see if it has any merit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what it looks like is that they made Disney had made this movie. The studio, Angel Studios, bought the rights back, and basically what people are saying or trying to show this as, and what has been happening is just like In the Heights and other films that have come out. People are buying out movie theaters for people to watch the movie, so much so that it was like number 2, number 3 in the country in box office. It's like an independent film, right?
Oh, wow.
And it was making a ton of money. And then looking into it, it's obviously something that you think you couldn't be against this, right? It's a movie that talks about the horrors of child trafficking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a pretty hot take if you're saying I'm not against child trafficking, right? So it seemed very simplistic to be like, yeah, this is something that everybody can agree on that is bad. Basically, it's a different version of Taken, okay, which is not teen trafficking, I guess, for sex work. So the movie comes out, and I think religious people really felt like they were seen because it's something that, but I just think there's just this weird multiple levels about it because everybody that's invited me and say I've had several people that have told me, hey, we're buying tickets for anybody that wants to see this.
That's sorry to cut you off. That's the one that Polly recommended, right?
Yeah, that Polly recommended.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people are just buying tickets for people. And I don't know if I don't know. It just feels weird. It feels weird that they sort of grabbed onto it. I've heard people are saying it's a superhero movie for divorced dads or people that are QAnon supporters. This is something that popped up on my feed the other day about it. We can't say against the film. Well, shit, what is wrong with you? Sound of Freedom is a dangerous child trafficking exploitation film being weaponized to incite death cult to target Democrats in order to destabilize American democracy. I think this is a pretty extreme take, but I thought it was interesting. It was funded by actual sex traffickers and accused sexual predators. So the story is a sort of semi-autographical true story about this guy. But I've also read quotes from actual people in government organizations that say there are these people who are LARPing as lone wolves and I'm going to dismantle the industry. There's people out there that really do stuff like that. You know what I mean? That feel like they're out there helping, you know what I mean? But they're not really part of any organized organization or agencies that are doing into it, right? If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of shit out there about the alleged hero of the story and stuff like that. So I just wanted to sort of see if you had heard anything about it because I'm just overwhelmed with different information about it.
That's crazy. No, this has been totally out of my sphere lately. Yeah, so I will have to and dig into it a bit. Yeah, are you buying? Is it free anywhere, or do I have to buy a movie ticket to support?
No, there's people that are paying it forward, or buying tickets for people to go see the movie. And so it's kind of interesting. Maybe I'm gonna look more into it this week. Maybe on our next show, I'll have a couple of videos or something popped into it, and I kind of want to watch it just so I can see what the fuck's going on.
Let's do it. Let's have a movie night.
Let's watch it. I mean, I'm not gonna watch it before I watch.
So not excited.
I'd much rather watch Barbie or Oppenheimer,
and then Sounds of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom, because I think nobody's against that, but I think this whole thing where they're we got to build awareness is very
for this thing that has existed since the dawn of time.
Yeah, that's that's like, showing Friday the 13th and being like, we need to bring awareness to feminicidio. Like,
Yeah.
Like there's nobody that's against that, right? And I don't know, and so it feels like they're trying to make it like their movie, and just if you don't like this movie, don't watch this movie, then it's almost like they're trying to prove something that can't be proven, like how they like to throw out the PDF file for leftists and Democrats and stuff like that. It's almost like a purity test, like unless you agree with us 100% on what this movie is, we get to say this shit that we say about you. Oh, look at them, they're not promoting this movie. You know what I mean? Like it just kind of feels kind of forced,
That's weird.
And apparently a lot of the money that's being used to funnel into it is a lot of organizations just buying out movie theaters, and there's not a lot of people in the theater, but the whole movie theater got bought out.
Is it like right wing? Like,
yeah, it's like, and then the guys who like Jim Caviezel, the actor, and some of the people, and the thing is, it's a Latino director. And so it's like, so some people are like, it's the hottest Latino movie out there, and it does have a theme of like South America, and I think it's Colombia or Nicaragua or something like that. So it's a weird fucking thing.
So is it? Yay, we support that. I don't know. I gotta watch it. I really have to watch it.
I think it's like it's a weird, it's one of those things that I love, which is the awkward things where different sides have to figure out what side they're on, and they're choosing and picking and stuff like that.
We love intersectionality. Like this is when it gets confusing as shit.
We love that gray area bullshit. What's happening? So we'll touch base on that. All right, we have one no names way, and then we'll get the fuck on with it.
All right.
All right.
Now it's time for
No Names Way.
No Names Way. No Names.
All right.
All right. Today's question comes to us from Chispita.
Okay.
Chispita writes, Hola, amigos y amigas. So my friend is in a predicament, and I hope y'all can help. She is contemplating on breaking up with her boyfriend. So a couple of months ago, my friend's boyfriend asked if she would be okay if he worked as a security guard in a strip club. Okay. She said she wouldn't and asked him not to take the job. He was okay with the response and said he would wait a couple of months to ask again. As of today, he told her he had accepted the job as a security guard in a strip club. He told her the pay is very good and would only do it until December. My friend feels it would be best to break things off now and end in good terms than for him to shit on her and break her heart. She trusts her boyfriend, knows how a flirty woman can be, how tempting a strip club environment can be. She has been cheated on before and does not want to go through this again. She's heartbroken because she really likes him but does not want to see what will happen.
Okay. Ooh, that's juicy. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Do you want to go first?
I'm just trying to figure out who gets more pussy. Strip club security guards or strip club DJs?
Huh.
Because I'd like to do I mean,
I know, right?
I think I can. I think it's not that far away from karaoke. I could definitely handle strip club DJ. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go. All right. So, well, the first thing is how long have they been together, and do they really feel that this is something that would break a relationship? If it's an established relationship, then if he's not bulletproof, then you have bigger problems already. If the relationship is really good and everything's happy, and this is the first time you're worrying about him being in an environment where you would cheat, then there's something there, right? There's something about whether or not you should really, it's a job, right? It's a job. It's going to put him in a tough environment, and depending on how long they've been together, and how strong the relationship, there might be something already before then that causes her to have this. Is he flirtatious at parties? Does he have like a work wife? Like how does is he harding and being thirsty on people's Instagram stories and shit like that? So that would be my first question. And the second part is maybe look for some jobs for him. I don't know, if you don't want him to make money, then, and you're 100% sure that he's going to cheat because you don't trust all women, but you got to get strippers.
I know.
What did a stripper ever do to you except provide a service to lonely men in a time of need?
For money though. So my thing is Honestly, I wouldn't see a strip club as like the most tempting place where a security guard could get laid. I think if you wanted to work at a nightclub, I would be a lot more tense because there's drunk girls that he will have contact with. At the strip club, honestly, he's probably just going to be like more of a doorman. And honestly, those women are just there to get paid and to work. And it's, everyone's tired and dancing for the most part. So, but that's just me. That's my perspective. I know a few strippers. Okay. But that being said, I can understand in a relationship where like you want to have no exposure just because the likelihood of you cheating with more exposure automatically goes higher, right? So I understand that viewpoint. However, even if he did have an office job, how many people have had affairs? Regardless, this person is either going to be loyal to you or not, not depending on what job they have. And then that being said, if they're a security guard in general, I don't know, man, I think your idea of finding him a job would be pretty good. Finding him a job elsewhere, finding him a job, I don't know, at a freaking water plant facility. I don't know what kind of security you want him to do. But yeah, no, as far I can see where the jealousy would come in because, we're karaoke hosts. We worked in the nightlife and we were exposed to nightlife on a nightly basis. It's very different than to not have that exposure and be at home or be in an office. But all I'm saying is that regardless, you're going to have to either trust them or not at the end of the day. It sounds like it's too early on for you to have that trust, but I think it's also too early on to break up. I don't know. I feel like you already voiced an opinion and he still took the job, which is also slightly a red flag. But how bad does he need the money? How desperate is he for a job? And the job market, honestly, sucks right now. So
you live together, that brings another part of the equation. Are you in different places? If you're not paying his bills and you're not willing to pay his bills,
then you can't tell him what to do.
Then you gotta let it happen. And if you think, and Sophia's right, if he's gonna cheat, he's gonna cheat with you, whether he works at Walmart, whether he works at a strip club, at the gym,
low exposure jobs are like work from home.
Unless you get him a work from home, unless you're like, oh, I need a security guard in my house, and you're gonna pay him.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck. Yeah. I do think that out of all the jobs at the strip club, bouncer or security guard is probably, I would say DJs and strip club managers are the ones that are probably have the most pussy thrown at them there, and the patrons. Security guards are outside most of the time, man. They don't really. They're just like they open up the door for them, close the door for them. That's about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was considering being a strip club hostess for a while. But the thing is, the idea of having creepy men just creep on me all night creeps me out. Yeah. So didn't do that.
That's because you was raised.
But the security guard, I feel like less men would creep on him. So I'm like, I know you're worried about the dancers, and trust me, the dancers are only worried about just making their money.
The dancers are worried about making money and getting home, and whether their fucking shitty ass boyfriend with no job is gonna come pick them up in their own car at 3 in the morning, or if they're gonna have to wait because they're late because they're at home and they fell asleep playing PlayStation. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's what the strippers are worried about.
Yeah. So, So I honestly, I see that as a very low exposure job, surprisingly. But I don't know. As far as advice, I wouldn't break up with him. If the way Lou said, if you guys are not living together, if you're not paying his bills, and if he said, I'm sorry, I just really need the money. I'm sorry that I disregarded, what you said. I really needed the money and it's only till December. Then I would say stay. But it sounds like you already made up your mind because the way that this is being written is very much like, she already been cheated on. She doesn't want to go through that again. And it sounds like you made up your mind, honestly, which is fair. It's totally fine. If you just want to, if it's early on, you want to cut it loose, cut it loose.
Listen, if this is a boundary, is this a Jonah Hill thing?
Oh my God.
Is this her boundary or is this control?
This would be control in my opinion, which is why I'm telling her that I would not, like you can tell him it makes me feel uncomfortable that you would take this job. He did. So I'm assuming that that's more where the anger lies, and that's totally fair, which means you can leave. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, do I think that you know, he should have not taken the job. No, absolutely not. I'm saying she stays. I think that this guy hasn't done anything wrong yet. The problem is until he cheats, right? And with her, she wants to avoid that. So if you want to avoid it,
very good pay.
Then dump him.
Maybe he wants to buy you a nice present. Maybe he wants to buy you an engagement ring. And the only way that he can do it is by working this dirty ass job until December. So he's got enough money.
Yeah, maybe until December.
And also, if you've been cheated on before, you're probably bringing some of that into the relationship. So,
which is also not healthy.
Evaluate the entirety of the relationship. Are you doing this because you have trauma from previous relationship? Because something is already going on where you already don't trust them. And like I said, if you're not prepared to pay the bills, you're gonna have to kind of just let it go. Let it either make a clean break now and say, listen, this is a step too far for me. I never ever will date a strip club bouncer, which just say that
which
to
is
yourself.
Totally fine. That's up to you.
That's what I said, but just say it in your head a couple of times to see if that sounds ridiculous to you. Yeah. And then if not, then you're just gonna have to put the brakes on. And then if he cheats, then I mean, he cheats. It's gonna happen. If he's gonna cheat, he's gonna cheat. It's not gonna have nothing to do with being a strip club bouncer. You're just what you're mad about is that he's gonna be around a bunch of women, and you know you feel like your husband's such a prize or boyfriend's such a prize that they're not gonna be able to keep their hands off of him. I don't know. Either that, or maybe just show up every day and just sip a fucking
be that girlfriend. Jeez.
Just
he'll get fired real quick. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that'll be bad.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, that is our show for today. Thank you very much, Chispita, for dropping us a line.
Thank you, Chispita. Hope that helped. I don't know.
Listen, and tell your friend to submit her own question next time.
Yeah.
Directly. I'm just kidding.
But also, thank you for submitting for your friend. I'm sure that they're going to want to hear this.
Yeah. Give them your third-hand advice, or just clip this part and send it to them. See what they say.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So we're gonna be at Comic-Con partially, sometimes maybe not. We'll see you guys next week, or a week and a day from now, or 2 days from now when we come back on. Thank you for everybody. Thank you, Jose Turiaga, for the interview earlier. Thank you, David Dawson, for stopping by. Kung Fu Ghosts will be at the festival at a pub downtown, the Blarney Stone. And go to Small Press, have fun at Comic-Con. Holla if you hear me. I'll have stickers for everybody that we see out there. That'll be fun. So peace out, mi gente. We love you. We'll see you next time.
Hasta luego.
Bye.
Vamos, papá, hay que irnos. Me estoy aguantando desde que pusieron el domo.
Puedes esperar. Muchas personas trabajaron en esta película y solo quieren que te aprendas sus nombres de memoria.
Y yo quiero asegurarme de que ningún animal resultó lesionado durante la filmación de esta película.
¡Listo! ¡Uy, palomitas en el suelo! ¡Chao!
Espera, parece que Maggie tiene algo que decir. Es tu primera palabra.